sorry, I didn't do the countdown again.
Hey!
Sorry.
Man, it's just
No
a regular
intro.
It's a
just
regular streak.
balls to the wall.
I went over to move the mouse over the stream button and I accidentally clicked at the same time, which is good because I almost
Man,
clicked
I
start
might have-
recording.
I might have screwed up my intros every once in a while, but never in a row.
Never
Shut
did
up,
that.
Yeah,
Connor.
this is a
Never
brand
did that.
Connor, you literally the other
Connor.
day retweeted, "This is my my cave that I farted" on the official Unexpectables Twitter, and I had to message you about that.
To be
And
fair,
knowing
that was
this-
appropriate Unexpectables content.
Monty.
It's true. I do
we
fart
all
canonically.
we all know that Connor is infallible.
Oh, fuck off,
It's
Zito.
true.
I don't
Listen,
hear
maybe
it.
Warp farted and nobody heard it, but he was in his
Where's
cave.
Gaijin? I miss Gaijin. He would have had my back. Where's
He's
Gaijin?
safe.
Gaijin would have had
He's
your back.
safe in
Unfortunately, we
Japan.
have no Goomba
Taskate,
today.
Gaijin. Taskate.
No, I'm
Yeah,
officially
Gambate
vetoing.
Gaijin.
No, I'm vetoing any use of Japanese while Gaijin is gone. Like we are not
No.
allowed.
Domo
Even me.
arigato, Mr.
What do you
Roboto.
mean? This is
Even
our
I
chance to
can't
do
do
it.
it. Out of respect for Gaijin, we cannot use Japanese.
You know, out of respect for Gaijin, why don't you tell all the people where they could find you, Mark?
Oh God, that's right. He's not here. I have to start.
Oh God.
You have to do it.
Hi, you can find me on twitter.com at Mark Allen Jr., here on Twitch at Aeon Protect Gaming, and you can follow the adventures of my fat sleepy cat bunny on Instagram at Chonk4Life. The big thing that I have to announce right now is that I am going to be doing a subathon / donation drive of sorts this Saturday at 3 p.m. here on Twitch. I am going to be moving. And I'm going to be trying to get some funds for that move. And joining me on that adventure, maybe some regular friends of the show, some of whom probably don't know that I'm going to ask them to join me on this adventure yet. But keep an eye out on my Twitter. I will be putting up an official announcement picture thing for that probably tomorrow. We're going to go as long as we can. We've got some goals set up. For instance, if we hit 100 subs, which would be insane, I have to play a game of NBA 2K23 and score 100 points with the player. Which, as far as I can tell, in 2K23 specifically, is impossible. So that'll be fun and torturous. So I hope you all join me and potentially make me cry like a baby on stream. It'll be great.
Chris Zito, where can they find you and what are you up to?
Find me at twitch.tv/Zito, where I am selling a character that I've made for my comic. He's now in plush form. If I get him to 200, I have set up a sub goal where I will play Brat's Flaunt Your Fashion DLC. I don't know why the game has DLC, but I'll play it if I break even and sell 200 rebounds.
Holy shit.
Beyond that, some psychopath got me a fight stick on my throne, so
Oh.
Hell
Street
yeah.
Street 6 is now actually going to be a legit ass playthrough on my stream. Maybe even some Strive streams now that I actually have a fucking stick to play with. Beyond that, you can watch me gamble my life away by playing Honkai Star Rail because it's actually a really fun game. Please buy Rebound.
All right. Well, Monty Glue, where can they find you and what are you up to?
Oh my gosh. I want to apologize first for the somewhat lack of streams this past week. I was very unwell. I don't want to get into it. I'll probably talk about it a little bit more, but until June, I'm kind of waiting on a doctor thing. But I'm okay. I'm not going to die. But hopefully, I'm going to get back into streaming here this week. I might have to take it a little bit more easy, but I want to play RE4 Remake so fucking bad. This tomorrow maybe should be more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I'm hoping that the party picks a floor and goddamn sticks to it, because holy crap, they've been jumping around all over the place. It's been really, really fun. They're really deep in the dungeon now. They're on the 10th, 11th floor now, which is really, really high. But on Mondays should hopefully be more Mass Effect, and I'm potentially starting up a new stream on Fridays. I will keep you posted on that, but I'm currently in the works of an overlay and a bunch of fun, funny things for that. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm excited to do something kind of different and interesting. Beyond that, maybe some pop-up streams throughout the week. I want to do another shiny hunting stream, and then you can find everything that I do on my YouTube. So if you miss a VOD, it's all on my YouTube. And hopefully, I'm clasping my hands together, I want to play more RE4 Remake on Sunday. Hopefully, I really, really want to play that game, and I really wanted to play it this past week, but I was not in a place to do it. So, yeah, thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter, Monty Glue.
Nice. And special shout out to our fallen brethren, and by fallen, I mean over in Japan. Gaijin Goomba, we miss you. Twitch.tv/Gaijin Goomba, you know where to find him. We miss you. We hope you're having fun. But last but certainly not least, it is the devil of distortion. Connor, where can they find you? And what are you up to?
Your age is mine. They can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.com/Distortion Devil. I stream Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. With occasional pop-up streams where I play some VR games, including the fantastic Walking Dead Saints and Sinners game. It is really fantastic. I implore you, if you own a VR headset, please play that game. It is very, very fun. Yes. Other than that, played some Deus Ex Invisible War. That was a thing that happened. Also, me and Bosco, just this last Saturday, had a 12-hour-long stream.
Side Quest City!
Where we did all the friend quests, and we are finally this week.
Maybe.
No, this week it's definitely happening. We are finally going to wrap up Judgment, and then we'll be moving on to Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Connor, all joking aside, did you actually learn how to play Japanese Mahjong?
I am a Mahjong master.
I learned.
Can you
I
teach
actually
me?
learned.
I actually want to learn how to play.
I refuse.
Yeah, dude, it was the fun. Dude, we spent like 3 hours doing Mahjong.
If I never have to play Mahjong again, it'll
So
be
here's
too
what.
soon.
So
Hey,
Connor and I.
sorry, just bad news, Connor. I was going to invite you to the fundraiser this weekend to play Mahjong, so...
Well,
Yeah, you could kiss every part of his ass. No.
is this negotiable?
So I literally had a wiki page up trying to
can.
learn all the hands, and we had 2 people in chat who had varying degrees of Mahjong like expertise. And between the 3 of us yelling at Connor to dump different tiles, we eventually just decided we're gonna buy the item that lets you cheat. And we were so frustrated with Mahjong, we bought the item twice to skip the whole side quest and auto win.
I had to grind twice to buy the cheat item.
Amazing.
I am a Mahjong master.
It's true.
Now play
Nine-tailed
Hanafuda.
bitches.
Fuck that. That's everything.
Nice.
Or is it?
Hit him with that sponsorship.
Because this episode was brought to you in part by Die Hard Dice.
Oh shit, I gotta grab it.
Rice.
There you go. Perfect Mark Allen Jr. impression.
I'm rolling.
I'm so upset.
I'm rolling.
Don't steal my halftime show, motherfucker.
Oh my
I'll
God.
steal your intro bit.
Mark
There
off
they
your,
are.
First of all.
Second of all.
mark off your bingo cards. Monty just dropped her Die Hard
Oh,
Dice.
Monty dropped your dice!
I didn't drop anything. I knocked over a bottle. Fuck off. Nothing.
Okay, all right.
all right.
All right.
Scratch
Damn it.
that. Eraser marks,
Also, if you
everybody.
don't know what the bingo card is, you should join the Discord and grab a bingo card because it's
I'm-
unexpected
Yeah.
bingo.
Likely story.
Uh-huh.
Shut up, Zito. I don't need your
Don't-
judgment today.
Don't lie to the people. They have bingo to play.
Well, what isn't a lie is the great savings you can get if you go to dieharddice.com and use the code Unexpectables to save 10% on your order when you shop at dieharddice.com. You can also use that code to pick up the brand new Lies Dice, the Lies Aspect Dice, the official collaboration between the Unexpectables at dieharddice.com. Pick them up now. You can use the code on those as well. Also, check out our merch store. Where we've
Buy that
got
merch.
We've got 3 designs with maybe some more coming down the pipeline. Maybe Gateway merch.
Gateway merch. I know that.
What's
Joey.
Gateway
Steal
merch?
from it
That's right,
often.
for all 18 of you in chat who watch Gateway.
Oh, fuck off.
Hold on, it's 18 of them that watch both shows.
Oh shit, let's go. Yes. Link to that should be in chat and also in the link tree that should be linked in the description of the VOD if you're watching this on YouTube. Hi, YouTube chat. Some of you need to calm down. What?
And they
Oh! Wow.
Wait,
like
that was
that.
Monty.
Yeah, it sure was.
Monty.
Hello?
That's all right.
Are we
Welcome
still
back.
streaming?
Hello.
Discord crashed. I went to go click on the Unexpectables Discord because it's so cool and awesome, and then Discord was like, it couldn't handle it and
It's
crashed.
too awesome.
It's too
This.
awesome.
Yeah.
Is a retro moment.
Chad, are you good? Can you still hear? Because
Yeah, you're
Wallfly, hopefully Wallfly isn't frozen.
I can't
Wallfly
hear you.
looks-
I'm blind.
Oh,
The
God.
sound is good. I can hear it.
Yeah,
All right,
I can't
everyone's
hear
good.
you
That's
without
good.
my
Okay.
glasses.
Yeah.
Describe the
guess-
noise to me.
It sounds like noise.
You should have
What's the
dropped
last-
the dice. That was the ultimate. I gave you a fucking setup and you
I'm sorry!
squandered it.
I
You
cracked under
squandered it.
pressure!
You squandered it.
I have jettisoned your gift!
Pray I do not alter it further.
I see.
Speaking of
Run back the whole intro.
We gotta start over,
speaking
guys.
of
All right. Hi, guys.
speaking
Welcome
of
to the...
generosity.
Oh, is it time for
bits and subs?
bitches?
Yeah, it's time for a business here. That's right. Let's see where we got. We've got 37 months from Zenlita. Month. 14 months from
Month.
Tommy Toon 88. Veil of the Void, thank you for the 7 months. Mark. Impact Frame, thank you for the 35 months. Vonavon, thank you for the 36 months. 3 years, still going to sub to a wonderful channel. Zako Duo, thank you for the 500 bits. Just had dental surgery and I'm out for 3 days, so I'm settling in with some Tears of the Kingdom and the Unexpectables.
Aw,
Sounds
I don't-
like a comfy evening.
It's never fun to get teeth surgery, but boy, you picked a kind of a good time to get it with a good video game, because I remember when I got mine done, I played a lot of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon that had just come out. And that was,
When
What
I
a,
had
what
my
a perfect
wisdom,
time for you to feel anguish.
when
Yeah,
I had my
right.
wisdom teeth pulled, there were no video games.
Video
what are
games
you,
didn't
8,
exist.
what are you, 80 years old? What happened?
Yes.
Back in my day, we had Pong. Now
I was in
that
high
a
school.
video
We
game.
used to have to put X's or circles on a log and throw it down river.
Which you can't do when you have no teeth. It's a strict no logs diet.
Connor,
after your
keep
teeth are
going.
back.
Get us out of this.
Back in my day, we had government psyop Polybius to play. Zebzabezabeal, thank you for the 100 bits. While Milo's gone, who's going to force feed Kai Pop-Tarts?
I'll do it.
I fucking hate you.
Or you're
Eating
eating
right now.
That's perfect.
Brawl Kaiser, thank you for the 8 months. Happy 3 months of support to my favorite D&D campaign. Well, it's actually 8 months. Haha, got him. Lunatic Crow, thank you for the 38 months. Celebrating my birthday with the greatest D&D show on the channel. Sorry, Connor. Yeah? I know. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Lord Servitor, thank you for the 38 months. Callum Draws, thank you for the 5 bits. Milo is now Bilo. Veza 5.
Hello.
Milo.
But no one ever asks how low.
How low?
Too slow. Veza 5, thank you for the 13 months. Who's going to make the toast while Milo's away?
Me.
I don't know.
I was gonna say, guys,
want-
is
I
on
wanna-
that shit.
I want that as a 3-panel comic. Who's gonna make the toast while Milo's away? And the guys like me, and then the last panel is something on fire. That's just the
It's the
comic.
card again.
Yeah.
Mr. Agni, this,
Yeah.
Mr. Agni, this is a chunk of wood.
Yeah, is that not toast? Is that
It's
not
delicious.
What toast is?
Maybe high in fiber, however.
I'm the
Ben
best
Wolf. Ben Wolf, thank you for the 6 months. Yo, have a good move. Don't worry. We'll move
Thank you.
somewhere.
I will.
I moved.
You did.
Sabarian, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey. Skench, the Knoll Barbarian, thank you for the 38 months. Bag of Gnomes, thank you for the 27 months. Able to catch you guys live for the first time in a long time. Excited to see what plans the Intrepid Heroes have in store. Mikan Pachi, thank you for the 95 bits. Bosco O's, filled with 20-win vitamins and minerals, part of a balanced breakfast.
Yes.
Find them at your local Jewelosco.
Make sure to eat your booze.
Just a mountain of fucking Pop-Tarts right next to it in the promo.
Delicious. Sakido, thank you for the 20 months. Yes, score all the touchdowns in basketball.
Woo!
Constable Mutton,
How dare you?
thank you. Thank you for the 38 months. In before Milo returns decked out in Orin merch like someone coming back from a con.
Went to Orin Land.
Orincon.
Oh, God.
You were supposed to be spreading the good word, and you just went to a fucking carnival.
Just like other D&D adventure where cleric has a convention. Gwen Ninja, thank you for the 35 months. Looking forward to listening in the morning as I continue to work on the custom campaign world I've been building for a year. First test runs, here I come. Well, let's go. Divine Devil, thank you for the 36 months. Happy Wednesday, unexpected people. Let's go. Papusa Monkey, thank you for the 38 months. Got pepper sprayed and beaten with batons for job training today. The Papusa is sore today.
Dude, that's like my mom. She
I'm
got
all-
pepper
Aldi
sorry,
really
what?
be having Aldi's really be having a strict
Dude, they don't train
regimen
dentists like they used to.
nowadays.
My mom told me stories about how she had got pepper sprayed and tased several times.
Hey everyone, taxes are no joke.
Oh my god.
Well,
Remember, kids, pay your debt.
Pay your debts. Lannister always remembers or some shit, I don't know. Welsh 93, thank you for the 38 months. Discount GM, thank you for the 11 months. Is it time for the misadventures of Wark? That's right. Wark and Company. Yukio of the Legendary Heroes, thank you for the 28 bits. Hey guys, I adore you all. I hope you enjoy your game. Take these bits. Level 1 Eevee, thank you for the 19 months of Prime subbage. New sub, who dis? DRK Ganon, thank you for the 36 months of Prime. Good luck tonight. Sloth 13, thank you for the 38 months. Slipstream 96, thank you for the 100 bits. Can't stay, just wanted to say I called it, Bosco. I knew what you were day one.
I'm proud of you, kiddo. Well done.
Mr. Insecure, thank you for the 38 months. Oh boy, now that they have a hideout, time to spend all the gold on cosmetics for the castle.
What gold?
Yeah, they
Sorry.
haven't released that DLC
No,
yet.
We're
Worm
fucking
tongue-
poor. We're destitute.
Wormtongue took all of your money. Like, literally almost all of it.
Tell us where it is, fucker.
It should have been on his body, but he doesn't have one.
Lord Commissar Manslaughter, thank you for the 34 months. Next week is my 31st birthday. God, I feel old. Guardman,
Quiet.
find me an orc camp to attack.
You're not old at
Silence,
31.
child.
Literal baby.
Yuki of the Legendary Heroes, thank you for the bit. Killer Chansey, thank you for the 10 bits. Bosco, will Kai ponder the wark now instead of the orb? He just stares at him.
Staring contest with the statue.
Like, to imagine just like Kai stares at Wark, and just as time goes on, like the music gets more intense, and Wark just starts sweating. It's just like, what's happening? Like, you know, when you look at a cat, and a cat's like, huh? It gets more and more nervous.
Orc. Yuki of the Legendary Heroes, thank you for the 17 bits. Dice on Monty's floor, thank you for the 200 bits.
Fuck off.
Wolfwing Pup, thank you for the 115 bits. I was re-listening to Campaign 1 on Spotify. I'm at the part where they go to the Plane of Air at the Magic Market. The all-consumer sword was sent to Athel by the King of Athel, so Campaign 2 will eventually run into it again. Hint, hint, guys. Chief Tomahawk, thank you for the 36 months at tier 2. Back for another live stream. Let's go. War Drone, thank you for the 200 bits. Health first, Monty. That's an order from a health worker from Denmark.
I know. Yeah, painful smile.
Gorn ZX55, thank you for the 100 bits. Sup, everyone? Just wanted to ask, what are your guys' thoughts on the Five Nights at Freddy's movie teaser? I could give less of a shit.
I don't watch movies. I'm sorry.
I didn't even know there was a trailer.
Freddy Fazbear.
I
That's all
hope
I
you
got.
enjoy it, though. If you're excited for it, I'm happy. for
Yeah,
you.
if you're excited,
enjoy
good.
your Fazbears. That's all I'll say.
I'm sure Marking Plier, the king of Freddy, is very excited as well.
Gregory, this is sus.
It's okay to be sus, Gregory.
It's okay.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Markiplier. Today, we're going to watch the Freddy Fazbear movie.
No, you
Sir, we're
don't
gonna have to
a
ask you to
choice.
leave.
Holds gun.
That and one nerdy dad, thank you for the 23 months of Prime subbage. Yukio, the legendary heroes, thank you for the 19 bits. Nene 2021, thank you for the 100 bits. Glad to be back. Won't be watching this when I'm sleep deprived. Yeah. Morth Randor, thank you for the 100 bits. Come to a walk of wonder. Shine Greymon, thank you for the 36 months. Yo, where does the time go? The same place where my DP goes.
Teehee.
Fucker. The Tobs, thank you for the 38 months. Number go up.
I'll be right back.
m-
I will be right back. I'm just grabbing water.
Real
How will you grab
meta.
water? It's a liquid.
Thank you for the 10,000 bits.
Holy cow.
Here are some Electrum coins to help you set up your burgeoning kingdom. Good luck, everyone.
Take it back.
No.
It's okay, Monty. We can't spend Electrum anyway.
How do we give a refund?
Jeff Bezos, the Beholder.
The Bezolder.
I hate
The
everything
Basil.
about that mental.
The
I hate it.
Bayholder.
I hate it.
Zito!
I'm out.
Zito! You fucking
What?
Jeff Bezos! Come on!
Oh, that's so
I like it.
good.
Monty
Fuck.
just had to run back in the room.
She ran back just to say that.
She has
Yeah,
all this
she was
water
like, "Ah!"
sloshing around in her hand, but she's
I did
like, I've
spill
got a
it a
good
little
one.
bit.
By the way, Monty just wanted to let you know that at 7:09 there was a bit drop of 0 bits
I'm-
from Arkov saying Monty's a cute nerd.
No, fuck off.
How do you donate 0 bits?
I don't know.
By
That's
pinning
a
a message.
highlighted message.
Yeah, it is. I know what I said.
Gotcha.
It's getting violent in here.
Yukio of the Legendary Heroes, thank you for the 14 bits. Solar Misfit, thank you for the 200 bits. Can you break these bits into Electrum? I don't think so.
I want to break your spine.
Listen. Twitch
What?
takes enough
That's
of it.
violent.
Twitch takes
can't
Sorry.
Twitch takes
threaten
enough of
the
a cut
viewer.
as it is.
I'm sorry. It was
Who's
very
more
aggressive.
Wait.
Are we
Z-Man
just-
Stardust.
Go ahead.
Z-Man Stardust, thank you for the 26 bits. Miss you guys. Still behind, but I hope to catch up to live soon. Also, Bosco, listen to the halftime show on YouTube.
Also,
Yeah.
Connor, you have 4 minutes, so.
I think we'll be all right. Random Man, thank
We
you for
gon'
38
be all
months. James Rochelle, thank you for the 50 bits, because I can. Alucard True V, thank you for the 35 months. The Atom Bomb, thank you for the 20 months of subbed fun. It's worth it for lots of content.
You okay there, Connor? You need some coffee?
I think I might.
That's why I
Masamune
drank
84. Oh boy. Masamune 84, thank you for the 28 months. Let's do this. 100 bits from Magic Ninjago. That is something in a different language with lots of umlauts, and I will not even attempt to say it.
some.
But thank you.
For a character.
Mm.
Umlaut? Yeah, that would be a really good name for a character.
That was a character in Carnival. It was the evil floating head.
There's also a character in Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Yeah. Disco Tech Priest, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Hey, Unexpectables. Thanks for helping me through a tough year of relocations with your content, and even more important, keeping me sane while leveling a blue mage. Here's to you. I know that feel. I feel that feel. That feels feeling.
Good luck. Good
Veil
for
of the
you.
Void, thank you for getting a tier 1 sub to Rotisserie77. Callum Draws, thank you for the 37 months. I can't believe that in order to defeat Blightwing, Otho will have to win 50,000 point Mahjong game against him.
Oh no!
Fuck it. Ash Plague again.
Yeah, fuck it.
Take me this time.
No, let's just ask Jeff Bezos for a special item.
Oh my! I just pictured like the Putin video. I am gay, but it's Jeff Bezos. Andoro the Insane, thank you for the 35 months. Didn't catch you guys in ages, but today I finally managed to do it. Hey.
2 minutes left.
Uh-oh. Where the fuck did it go? Shit, fuck. There it is. Oh god, there's so many more. Despoonman, thank you for the 30 months. Glacial Regal Sorbet, thank you for the brand new sub. Morthrandor, thank you for getting a tier 1 sub to Who Are Taking All the Names. Mika and Pachi, thank you for the 95 bits. Skeletalpha, thank you for the 38 months. Coach Boy 9J, thank you for the 100 bits. Veil of the Void, thank you for the 500 bits. Akinoris, thank you for the 25 months of Prime. Metalepsis, thank you for the 33 months of Prime. GTG Maximo, thank you for getting a tier 1 sub to Sentinel Nos. Zenlita, thank you for the 100 bits. Real Meta, thank you for the additional 10,000 bits. Lupin Kaiser, thank you for the 5 months. Alfred, thank you for the 30 months. Dice Ruler, thank you for the 4 bits. Daniel Bonin, thank you for the 37 months. Twitch Guy, 75, thank you for the 5 bits. GTG Maximo, thank you for the 30 bits. Draken King, thank you for the 100 bits. Mikan Pachi, thank you for the... Sorry, I just read one of the messages. Mikan Pachi, thank you for the 95 bits. Twitch Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. One Sweet Girl, thank you for the 17 bits. Dex 99, thank you for the 38 months. Dark Lord Popo, thank you for the 32 months. White Fang, thank you for the 5 bits. Cotton Candy
The
Bird,
fuck?
thank you for the 3 months. What?
Sorry, I flashed back for a second.
No. Rar Hockey Dude, thank you for the 100 bits. Magic Ninjago, thank you for the 100 bits. Neko on Parade, thank you for the 100 bits. Debonsk, thank you for the 33 months of Prime. Local Bird, thank you for the 100 bits. Glycerius, thank you for the 38 months. Grand Lich Poopoo-Fard, thank you for the 21 bits. Nene 2021, thank you for the 17 months. Rippington, thank you for the 35 months. Protoss 103, thank you for the 5 bits. Twitch Guy, thank you for the 20 bits. Where Did You Go, lol? Thank you for the 9 months of Prime. Like Tabuya, thank you for getting a tier 1 sub to Arkolf. Sirius Einsla, thank you for the 2 months. And Volk551, thank you for getting a tier 1 sub to Wark203.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Alrighty, you guys ready to jump into a world of wonder like no other?
Wait, we're jumping today?
Yeah, we are. Get your knees ready.
Why are we?
Okay.
Is this I don't understand.
I'm not warmed up. for this.
Censorship 1984.
Okay, here we go.
Come to a world of wonder.
So, when last we left our heroes, Gaius Agni, the satyr fighter, Iscan Seat Lolly, the lizard folk druid, Otho Valentinius, the shifter rogue, and Kai Valentinius, the human wizard, the party has spent a handful of days in their keep after meeting an entourage of skeletons from the northern village of Vomer and creating their new spy network named the Black Stripes. The party took stock of their new castle, the items within, and enjoyed some well-earned rest. Now, as 5 days have passed, the party has said farewell to their beloved friend of Milo Brightbeam, who has his own mission to the south. And the party has prepared themselves for their ambassador mission to Hearthland, a neighboring region to the east. After waiting on Lynn to create some letters of introduction and explanation, the party is now attuned to the scepter of Easondale, and they set their sights on the Veil Piercer to make their way to the capital city of Hearthhold. Now, let us return to the Unexpectables.
Before we go, are there any and this is a serious question, are there any items in the castle that would help us store food or anything that we could take with us just in case?
There are sacks, but there's actually very little food in the actual keep itself. Anything that was in there is definitely spoiled.
We haven't eaten in 5 days. I forgot. I'm hungry.
So I will say this: the villagers of Vomer do actually bring by some vegetables that they have.
Oh, thank goodness.
Are they alive?
They are, yeah. The vegetables are actually kind of large.
I just don't need any undead cabbages, is all I'm saying.
I'll say anyone who wants to pick someone amongst the party to do a nature check, nature check on the vegetables.
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Go for it.
All right.
Natural 20 for a total of 24.
Okay.
Get out of here, Bosco. These are my vegetables.
These are my cabbages.
These are my carrots. They were made for me. Escan, they give you vegetables, which Milo, before leaving, makes into a very nice stew. The vegetables are very large, and they're slightly have a bitter edge to them, probably because they've been sitting in the ground for over a year. And they've basically just naturally propagated themselves. They've just been sitting. So it's like, you just leave like a zucchini plant and it makes way too many zucchinis. It's kind of that energy.
Weird and yeah.
They're kind of weird, slightly bitter. It's fine. It's food. It tastes great. And honestly, after eating nothing but dry rations for a while, it's a nice reprieve. But unfortunately, it only lasts you for 5 days. But the rest of the vegetables you can store in the pantry. But however, you cannot take the pantry with you because the pantry is a building. And it will not
Legend has it there's
Were
a super
there?
mega ultra zucchini in the ground somewhere.
Oh no.
The Great Gourd. Were there any potatoes?
Oh hell yeah, there are tons of potatoes.
Can we bring potatoes with us as
I'll say
rations?
2 rations of potatoes, sure.
Total or each?
Total.
Potatoes.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Each.
Yeah.
That's a lot of potatoes. Potatoes!
I'm just making sure we're good on food before we leave.
I believe this was pointed out before you guys. I think this was mentioned before, but Lynn doesn't eat. You notice that she actually doesn't seem to eat anything.
Right.
But she does drink tea, so she seems to consume, but she doesn't seem to need to. Yeah.
It's more of a for pleasure thing than for sustenance.
She's on a
Definitely.
It's
diet.
habitual.
Yeah, definitely seems that way. Also, her dogs arrive after a while, so
Nice.
she has her dogs now.
Good boy.
Rebu has essentially used the blacksmithing area as a place to kind of barn the axe beaks
But we
after-
have perfectly good
We have stables.
that are full that have horses already in them. So
Yeah,
They
but they're
can
ghost
free
horses. Just
roam.
stick. Yeah, it's fine.
you want to put where do you want to put the horses then?
Well, the horses are see-through, so you can just stand in them.
They're not
No, they're
see-through,
not.
they're skeletons.
It's fine.
skeletons.
No, that's fine. Just stand in them.
I'll let Gaius decide what to do with the horses.
I just let them
Yeah.
roam around the castle.
Sure, okay, I like it.
They're on
I mean,
guard
they don't-
duty.
They don't eat and they don't poop, so that's probably okay.
Wait,
yeah, so
what?
I just want,
Yeah.
I
They're
just want
dead,
Lynn
yeah.
to one day just get up out of bed
What
and
do
then
they
there's
even
just
live for?
a skeletal horse right next to her over her bed.
Hello.
It's like that scene from The Godfather. You're screaming. Ah! Ah! Oh, wait a minute. Oh, right.
Oh, you're already dead. Oh, well,
I'll just
that's
pop
fine
you
then.
back on.
Yeah,
but
I
as
would
you
love for the
guys-
Axe Beaks to use the actual stables.
Yeah, okay. The Axe Beaks go in the actual stables then. And then Pazuzu exists in the Draft Horses stable by himself. He's big. But the rest of them
Fucking
share stable
Pazuzu.
space.
Zuzu.
Rebu also constructs a gate in the section that had the hay in it just to make an extra stable if necessary. But beyond that, he is going to take care of the Axe Beaks. That is.
I mean, he
his
better.
jurisdiction. Yeah. However, in the morning when you guys are enjoying some, bread that was provided by the people of Vomer as well, and some lovely fruits, exactly. Lynn arrives, kind of, looking not haggard, but just kind of like, stretching her back out because it's a little crinked up. She kind of walks forward and she puts a letter on the table. And unlike the other letters that you have sent to both Gertrude and Osmir Harlan in the past, this is a bougie letter. This is a fancy, fancy letter with a golden wax seal, and like the paper is like, oh, Escan. An entire map with that paper would be worth its quadruple its weight in gold. It's such a nice paper.
What a
But
waste.
Lynn places it on the table and goes, I have finished your letter. I assume you intend to head out today?
Sooner the
That's-
better.
I mean, that was kind of the plan.
Hmm. Do you have any questions about socio-political affairs?
Yeah.
What?
What what are the? How are they going to see Eastonville? I guess considering everything that's happened.
We are, at least for Hearthland, to my knowledge, are an accessible trade route. Given, and she kind of like actually nudges you, Eastcan, to place out your maps on the table. Yeah.
And can
She
I sleight of
aligns them.
hand to try and take the letter so I can repurpose it as map paper? Just kidding.
Well, that's your. I was gonna say, don't shoot yourself in the foot there. Lynn actually takes your maps and very gently and with a lot of care, kind of presses them together where they match up like border to border. And she points out, it's just like, usually Hearthland tends to move its wares through this section of Eastonvale, which is kind of like the lower section. Instead, now they're rerouted through the Death Road, which essentially is a long road that is peppered with goblin and ogre encampments. Establishing appropriate trade routes would be a boon for us, and for them more so. In regards to their views, I don't actually know. I've never spoken with Hearthland officially. My husband tended to visit there quite often.
Question.
Do you know who
about
the
game,
current
Monty.
ruler is?
Oh.
Are you okay if I take Otho's
No,
question
go ahead.
first?
You could. Yeah. So my question kind of ties into that. Did Otho or I find anything in the library that would assist us in knowing anything about the current climate or the
I will
relations?
say roll an investigation check.
Both of us.
Just you.
Damn it.
yeah, Otho doesn't know how to read.
That's fair.
It's true. I also
No,
definitely.
I also don't know
have
how to read.
I also
The-
definitely don't have a background that would help with this.
No.
Yeah.
The horrible reality is, Kai, is that the library is not organized.
Great.
Whoever was using it existed in perpetual organized chaos, meaning that nothing is in order, nothing is organized at all. It is in horrible disarray. Not to mention a bunch of books were thrown at you, so that's also kind of caused a bit of a problem.
Yeah, that was
so
rude.
unfortunately,
Go
Here's
ahead.
Guild Glossary. Excuse me.
you
Go ahead,
don't
Connor.
find anything. But Otho, as you ask Lynn that, Lynn kind of presses her eyes shut and she goes, if I remember correctly, and unless something's happened, the current rulers are King Levi Hearthlen and Queen Elena Hearthlen.
King Levi, you said?
Levi Hearthlen, yeah. And Queen Elena Hearthlen. But
Okay.
given that I've heard there was a war, I'm not sure if they're still alive.
Well, that would be
So-
concerning.
Yeah, if
Oh,
they're
that-
not alive, that's gonna make this real hard.
To my knowledge, they had an heir, but the details are not mine to have, unfortunately. My husband would have known. She rolls her eyes when she says husband. But as
I
you
mean-
can probably guess, he's not exactly... She does like a little dance.
So they used to have open trade with Eastonvale along this route that you pointed out, or is that like a new route that we would establish?
It was a pre-established route. It cut through so that way they could avoid the death road in Martorallo, as it is a much more dangerous path to take, rife with bandits and goblins and ogres. But no doubt the undead were a bigger, more concentrated threat. I think more or less allowing trade through the country would no doubt also cause trade in the country. At the very least, some merchants might establish, key points that we could bolster and turn into more established towns or cities, just to
Hey,
start.
Otho.
Yes.
Hey, do you think it might be worth trying to I don't think negotiate's the right word, but if we set up this trade route, is there something we could get from them in return, like a exchange? Because that it's
I'm
really
more
just
worried about. I'm more worried about what we have to offer, which is, frankly, not a lot at the moment.
Well, that safe route is a big deal, actually. And I think, just based on my estimations here, it's probably faster, too.
It is, which means less food, less resources, and less need for protected travel now. The other thing to keep in mind is we do have one resource, though we must be careful that it does not translate into territory. We have plenty of raw resources. And she looks at a giant turnip on the table. Sure, no doubt you've noticed. We have much untapped farmland. We have things where if people need or want to work, we need people. So that is also something. Though I don't know too many kingdoms who are willingly going to give up hard workers. They tend to be in demand, but
Especially when we have nothing to pay them with.
that as well. But it is worth mentioning, at the very least, establishing that Eastern Vale is safe to travel through. Though you may wish to mention the bandits. That is worth mentioning. Though I feel like goblin war bands compared to the odd smuggler bandit or two it's not quite the comparison. She kind of looks towards you, Otho, as she says that. The two forces are significantly different in power.
Yes, especially given what we've learned about one of them.
Another thing to note, and she looks towards you, Kai. I know that while you're going to be in Hearthland, you're going to be looking for this book.
Yeah, there was actually a couple things that we might look at. There was that. There was the tomb. There was a bunch of stuff. Guys, wasn't there something you were doing in Hearthland? You mentioned it a lot.
Finding my uncle, but also trying to find a little bit more information about this giant war.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do. Why?
I would recommend discussing your intentions with the spell book to the, if you're allowed, audience with the head wizard, the royal wizard of Hearthland. They might be able to point you in the right direction. It also would be a sign of good faith if your presence in Hearthland is well established.
Do you happen to know his name so we know who to ask for?
I don't know his first name, but I believe his last name is Candlestaff.
Candlestaff.
Sorry.
What?
Nothing.
You didn't have
Is
that
it any more
reaction when we met Master Point Hat.
I was about to say.
Yeah, but I kept it in. I wanted to laugh. I also had just stolen his book, so I couldn't laugh.
Fair point.
It might help narrow your search. It's just my advice. And honesty, in some circles, is valuable, especially given that to the royal family you will be a stranger.
And also,
given...
Go ahead.
No, go on, Master Seatlolly.
I was just gonna say that also we're coming in after their own turbulent time, possibly bringing
Yes.
our own troubles. So, yeah, honesty definitely seems like the way to go here.
I would not stir up any worry or discontent, though. Don't mention things that are unnecessary, but don't lie. The people of the courts are very perceptive and insightful.
The book is under the lock and key of a wizard, I think they said. How do we know which wizard? I mean, how do we know that they're not working with the royal family to keep that book there? Like, we could just say that and then they instantly shut it all down.
Well, then you have to be dishonest. But I would say ask first. At the very least, it'll help narrow down your search.
Is there anything else in particular we should avoid doing while we're there?
Perhaps my own worry, and she looks towards you, Kai. When you find the book, maybe wait until coming back to read it. Maybe
Yeah, I can
don't
do
open
that.
it when you find it. I know you're a curious sort, but patience might be careful here. I want to take the right precautions just in case. Of course, that is putting the cart before the horse, but you see her kind of like bite her lip, and she kind of leans her head back and like sort of like a stretching motion, kind of like all of you. And I would like to continue liking you.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. Could you, one more time? You.
Anyway, there is your letter, and I wish you the best. If you need anything, you may call us on the sending stone. And she looks towards you, Gaius, and nods. Rebu has given it to me while you are gone, and she holds up the other one.
Oh, I get it. You want to talk to us?
Well, if you need me, you can contact me. If you need anybody, you can contact anybody.
Eastgun's just gonna elbow Kai slightly in the side.
Ow! What?
I must return to my study and continue my run. She like leaves the room and kind of just grumbles and kind of is just like, I don't like you or anything, blah, 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 and leaves.
You're pretty cool too, Lynn.
Yes,
I like her.
yes. And
One
you
last
guys are left.
thing.
Oh.
Not with you.
Keep
Gentlemen,
leaving.
not you.
Anyone but you.
Gentlemen, they'll want us to introduce ourselves. What should we be introduced as?
Representatives of the Queen of Easonvale? Maybe?
Or maybe envoys of the country of Easonvale? That way we don't throw Lynn under the bus, so to speak.
Wouldn't it just be simple to call us the Lords of Easonvale?
I mean, that is more or less what we are.
That's technically true, but I mean, are we really gonna have the negotiating power without Lynn?
I mean, if we're there on behalf of the Queen, we're basically negotiating on their behalf, right, Otho? Like,
If the letter says that we are the behalf, then certainly we should.
We probably should have asked what's in the letter. Well,
Hey, Lynn!
You hear footsteps approach, and she peeks around the corner. Yes.
Hi, sorry. What should we say we are exactly?
Oh, jeez. Emissaries, ambassadors,
Ambassadors?
stewards.
That sound kind of cool. Stewards is... I like ambassadors.
Ambassadors is good.
Yeah.
Also, in regards to the letter, it contains an explanation as to what has occurred in Easonvale, as well as who you are, from my perspective.
Oh, good.
oh Jesus, that's a modifier. And then the little shit Lord Kai.
The glowing explanations. We got glowing.
It is.
We got glowing explanations from our fucking villain.
It is a very dense, explanatory letter that explains the sequence of events over the past couple years in Easonvale, as well as what we know about the other two countries and their stance. Again, transparency is paramount here in terms of negotiations. I could go into detail, but we would be here for a very, very long time. And you see her purse her brow.
We should probably get going anyway.
Yeah. The sooner the better.
It is daytime. It would be a good time to visit. You know how to use the Veil Piercer, correct?
Yeah. Say the magic words and poof.
You don't. All right, follow me. And she
Oh.
kind of gestures for you to follow.
Kai's gonna
Just the dry eye in Kai's direction.
And no.
Oh, fuck.
You guys follow Lynn. She actually takes you through the, because it's the closest one, the secret door that's behind the throne. Turns out there was a
press X.
button. Yeah, it turns out there's a button on the throne.
I fucking called it a gift.
Yeah, but we forgot to look at it with eagle vision, so we missed it.
Yeah.
That's true.
And Lynn automatically knows where it is because
Congratulations, Gaius is always right.
I hope we get 1 billion gold. Shifty,
I
shifty, shifty,
hate,
yes.
you know, being psychic's a fucking curse and a blessing sometimes.
I love that
Lynn,
idea. I'm just trying to shift it to your favor.
Lynn takes you into the Veil Piercer, and notably, there is a section of wall where she presses down on it and actually reveals like a glowing sigil, and almost like similar to the Twin Head Vault. If you remember, you had to carve into like the sand. You notice that Lynn pulls out a piece of paper and draws a sigil into the sand that is like this flat square that just presses a button, it reveals. She draws the sigil in, and you watch as the sigil on the floor actually shifts and changes and reflects the sigil that she draws in the sand. And she kind of folds out the piece of paper and goes, "There is our layway to Hearthland. That will take you to the capital."
Can I attempt to memorize that sigil?
It is a dense sigil, but you have it in a catalog, so you already have it.
Oh, we do. Okay, I wasn't sure
okay, good.
if she
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
just drawing it from memory or if we had something that
So,
listed it.
so we have basically a door back.
The
Yeah,
Rolodex.
do.
we have the tracer that we can just trace over the lines.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, I believe I mentioned this when you guys obtained the Veil Piercer. You guys have essentially additional addresses, but they'll only come up when they're relevant.
Right.
But you have essentially a direct line to Hearthlen, Martirallo, and Athel. But Lynn does not want to send you to Athel because she doesn't know what the fuck is going on there.
Right.
Martirallo
Fair.
will send you to the wizard school that is there. And then this one will take you to the capital castle of Hearthland. So those are the three that of the most significant, those are the three you have permanently. Now, again, I just want to reiterate, when you teleport between teleportation circles, you can use the Veil Piercer to teleport between those two circles. But when you teleport to sorry, I'm just gonna refresh this so it makes sense for everybody. When you guys teleport to Hearthland and say you go out in the woods somewhere, if you place down Wark and wait essentially 4 days now, because there's only 4 of you, you will teleport back to Eastonvale Keep, and then you can wait 4 days and then teleport back to where you teleported before in the woods. So there's kind of like, you can make a layway, basically, like a lay path. So yeah. All right.
Cool.
You cannot transport. There are enemies nearby.
Yeah,
wait,
100%.
Does Kai still have work, and his work still in normal form or in piercer form?
He is in Piercer form right now.
Okay, cool.
Lynn kind of steps back and she turns to you and goes, "Again, if you need anything," and she shakes the sending stone. "But I trust you. You've made it this far."
Yeah.
Thank you.
Be on your best behavior.
Looks at Kai.
Why are you looking at? Come on, he's gone.
I'm just saying.
Well, you're not. Fine.
And as you guys kind of step onto the circle, Lynn turns and goes, "Oh, and if I hear anything about Master Brightbeam, I will let you know."
Yeah, please do, because this is really weird. I feel like we've all been together for months. Well, technically a year and a few months.
We have.
Well, shall we?
I suppose so.
Doing a real
Right.
quick check to like make sure, like, just in case, like I'm adjusting his vest to make sure everything's all nice and clean and prim and proper, so he doesn't look all disheveled when they show up.
Remember the giant radish that was on the table?
You taking that with you?
No, it's right where Milo would be.
No.
It's just got Milo's face on it.
It's got a little tiny it's got a mop
Lettuce.
end on top of its head.
Just shoving
my
him
God.
into a pot. Cook.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be the one time we need that temporary HP too.
Pretty much.
No
All of us
toast.
are going down because we didn't have +2.
Yeah.
Very
Alright.
well, let's be on our way.
All right, here we go.
As you all lift up the Veil Piercer, you guys ready to do this again?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
1,
You're
2, 3.
Pierce the
veil!
You all teleport.
It's that,
Help!
it's that scene from SpongeBob where it's that scene from SpongeBob where Plankton screaming through a vortex stops to take a drink and then screams again.
Give me 1 second. I'm just.
Or alternatively, it's the bit from Spy Kids where they're falling in the bottomless pit, and then eventually they're like, man, we've been falling for hours.
So the first thing that hits you is the smell.
Oh.
Oh no.
A smell of decadent wax candles and incense, but of a sweetly less overpowering hue, hits your nostrils. Almost a like a I don't know how to describe it. It's like a very clean smell. Like the air is very fresh and clean. There's a sense of like a sort of floweriness to the air, but not in like a Sears perfume aisle kind of way.
Like potpourri, maybe?
I don't know what that is.
They're like jars of flower petals and stuff, so it sort of
Yeah.
passively
Yeah.
fills the air.
It's
with
like
the
dried
smell.
Yeah.
little pieces of wood, plant life, and whatnot to make a pleasant smell.
That's pretty apt, yes.
Okay.
And as all of you find yourselves on a gold inlay teleportation circle in white stone floors. It's not marble, but it is a very nice polished white stone. The chamber is, enough to fit all of you, but is flanked by large sconces of fire that kind of hang and flicker on the sides of this darkened chamber. And you notice that there are stairs that lead down from this space.
Well, I'm gonna have to get used to that.
Whew.
Looking around, there's no guards or anything?
Not where you can see right now. You're kind of seem to be in like a little secluded space.
Does Work stay in Piercer form?
That is up to you. He's your familiar.
I would like him to go back to normal Work because it'll be easier to carry around. Just put him on the shoulder.
All right. You kind of command Wark, and Wark kind of shakes out of his scepter form and kind of looks around and blinks a couple times and then scrambles onto your shoulder and then looks at you. And he always has kind of a permanent smile on his face, but this time it feels like more like a smile than usual as he kind of looks at you.
He's entered Muppet form.
Kai is going to use his left hand to put up like a fist bump and see if he'll bump his fist.
He gently places his like little paw on your fist, not quite understanding.
Yes! And Kai's going to walk.
All right, as you guys begin to walk down, you begin to hear two voices, and as you find yourself at the bottom of the stairs, you find yourself in a sort of nookish part of a large hallway. Immediately, you see hanging across from the exit that you've just exited out of doorwise is a large bannerment tapestry, not too dissimilar to the one you saw in the king's throne room. But this large banner depicts a white griffin on a royal blue tapestry that is kind of roaring to the left side. You also notice that the ground has a very long gold-trimmed blue carpet to it. And immediately as you guys walk forward, hearing the voices, you see a guardsman wearing very nice armor, holding a halberd kind of firmly in one hand. And you see another individual. And I would like to invite our first guest star of Campaign 2, Zan, to join us.
Oh my god!
Yeah!
Hello.
Hello.
What up, Zan?
Hi.
You want
I was
to...
like, what's the smallest energy I could have while joining?
Well,
Zan, putting you on the spot, can you describe your character for your fellow players and the audience, please?
Sure, absolutely. So in front of the group, I suppose, next to this imposing-looking card, there is
The art is so good!
there is a relatively tall and plumply round Kenku with strong features of a horned owl instead of a traditional Corvid appearance. He's got brown feathers that vary in shades of brown, and he's got piercing yellow eyes. He's adorned in the clothing of a quartz mage, full of blues, whites, and yellows, as he wears kind of almost like a sash over his chest, the symbol of the white griffin decorated on it. Hanging from his belt, there are a few potions, a worn spellbook, and a chained silver monocle. Lastly, he seems to be, instead of in lieu, I suppose, of a traditional caster's staff, instead you'll see like a magical staff with the end of it seems to be that of an axe head, like a halberd, as he kind of keeps it on his back.
as the rest of you kind of make your way down the stairs, the other guard, who is a human man with a very nice mustache, kind of turns and goes, halt there. And he kind of raises a hand to stop you.
Kai's gonna stop since he was in front.
You have entered via magic.
High five.
He kind of gives you a leery. You're all weirdos. I'm sorry. He gives you all kind of a leery glance and goes,
Hey, hold on, Monty. I'm the weirdo with an arsenal on his back.
It's true.
True,
It's true.
yeah.
We brought the badass weirdo.
You also have a giant, tall lizard folk who are not a common sight in this area.
I'm a really tall human. Doesn't that count?
But this guard kind of looks at you, Strigal, and then looks to these strange individuals and goes, "You have entered into Hearthland Hold by way of teleportation circle. Speak your business. This teleportation circle is meant for ambassadors or individuals of rapport."
Please.
And
please.
ambassadors we are, sirs.
Give them a moment to introduce themselves. And my apologies for the rudeness. It has been some time since we've had adventurers come by here, at least through this means.
Well, I suppose you could call us that. Well met, sirs. We are stewards of Easonvale, acting as ambassadors for the country.
Strigal, the guard, shoots you like a side-eye look, like, what? And then looks back.
I assume you have some form of documentation to prove this?
I look back towards the group who has the letter.
I thought you had it.
I
Kai took it. Oh, Gaius has it. There you go.
I took it. Me.
Take it.
I'll gesture for Gaius.
I took it very carefully and
In order to receive it, you must give me a high five.
I'll
Answer these questions 3.
I love you,
I
Zito.
gesture for Gaius to present our seal.
Guy is just like, unfortunately, he doesn't know how to be like regal, so he kind of just like stands upright, kind of like standing at attention like a soldier would. And he kind of like meanders his way over and just like gently hands it out. Like his stance goes from like stiff to slouch back to normal. Here you go.
At
The
ease.
guard, the guard takes it and looks at it, and then he hands it off to you, Strigal. I want you to roll a history check for me, Zan.
Got it.
Strigal, our new friend.
First roll of the campaign.
Oh!
Oh, damn!
Natural
Jeez.
20.
Wow.
I know it's history down to the molecular level.
Did Mark and Zangus roll nat 20s in my game? I don't understand.
Maybe.
Yeah, and you rolled a 9, bitch.
Shut the fuck up, Monty.
I'm just
I
happy
can't
to
believe
be here.
that right there. Yeah, but actually though, that's our dynamic in a 2 nat 20 sandwiching my fucking 9.
Strigal, fantastic roll. This is the personal seal, not just a like, here's my little information seal. This is the personal effect seal of Queen Carolyn Easonvale, specifically. It is done in a golden wax, which is considered basically, it basically emphasizes the seriousness of the letter. And it is definitely penned in a very nice hand. This is a important letter that has just been handed to you. It is also, with that history check, incredibly legitimate. It is not forged at all.
He will with a practiced hand, like roll it up and then kind of allow the seal to kind of sit back into its place. My sincerest apologies. I did not realize the importance of your visit. Please, are you in urgent need to see the steward?
Not urgent, but sooner rather than later, my good man.
Monty, would I know that the steward would be the logical person to
Oh,
introduce these
100%.
ambassadors to? Okay.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Well, if you need a moment to refresh yourselves, there should be food and drink within the next room before I take you to the ambassador, or I can take you directly there.
I look back towards the rest of the group. Does anybody need anything?
I went potty
A couple of
before we
popcorns
left.
and a can of peanuts.
And
Nice.
without an improper introduction, my name is Strigal Kree, and welcome to the land of the Pale Griffin.
How do you spell the last name?
Kree.
Cree.
He's a Cree.
He's a Cree.
A pleasure to meet you, Sir Cree. I am Otho Valentinius.
Of the Valentinius clan.
That is correct.
I did not realize the Ocean Lord would send his sons here. It is a pleasure to meet you.
I assure you, sir, I am here on my own business.
Very well. I will not pry any further.
You
Please.
you can handle this, Strigal. I'll make sure to keep guard of the. You watch as the guard kind of puts down his halberd twice. I'll make sure to keep watch of this teleportation in case we have any other unushered guests.
Of course. And make sure to oil the very end of your halberd. I noticed that it's spitting into rust.
Oh, you watch as he like kind of brings up his hand and rubs. He goes, "Yes, you're right." He kind of gives you a nod, and he places himself like directly in front of the exit out. As
Nice.
Strigal, you are now in the guide to these interesting guests.
If you would follow me, esteemed visitors, I will guide you towards the steward.
After you, sir.
Just the young Frankenstein. Walk this way.
Walk this way.
Otho will like behind his back, like hold up the OK symbol, like we're doing great.
We're no fuck ups yet.
As you all make your way down the halls, Easonvale Castle is a bit in shambles. Until you step into this space, you don't realize how in shambles it is. The presentation of Hearthhold's castle, or basically Hearthland Castle, is a sight to behold. Beautiful white-hewn stone walls with tapestries and art hanging up on the walls, ceremonial weapons and frames on display, vases with large bouquets of opulent flowers put out. You see servants cleaning the quarters and guards stationed at every single turn, each one bearing the same immaculate silver-ish armor along with a large and impressive-looking halberd and perhaps a sword at their side. As you walk through the halls, you see nobles essentially discussing, matters of politics or finances and things like this. But of note, as you walk through, you pass by what it seems to be a small contingency of guards, but probably 5 guards, and the person leading up the front is a guard unlike any other. He is an older man, maybe in his 50s or so, maybe older than that, with sort of a grizzled look to his face, scars on the face. And he is currently holding his halberd kind of close to his side, marching, and you notice that his other arm is gone. It is just gone. Behind him, you see what looks to be very young guards who are kind of keeping pace with him and marching. And as he passes by, Strigal, you know who this is.
Yes.
But you watch as this guard passes by with a bunch of fresh-faced guards, like following behind, keeping their halberds up in some sort of exercise as they pass by.
If there's an exchange of looks, Strigal will kind of give him a nod of acknowledgement that he's kind of like guiding people who are not from here towards the steward.
He does kind of look at all of you, and his eye does kind of catch Gaius a little bit, and then kind of looks towards you, Strigal, and gives you sort of a nod as he continues on, being respectful, not wanting to stop you on business.
And with that, he'll continue guiding the group.
Right. There is a basically a, what do you call it? It's like basically a reception hall. It's small, but it contains very comfortable blue velvet couches with bowls of fruit and wine and water and other spirits, as well as a sort of large framed photo of like painting of what appears to be a lovely landscape painting, as well as a lovely painting of the castle itself, which you now see is a multi-tiered massive fortress of white stone, as well as a painting of what appears to be like a griffin wearing kind of like heraldry, almost like a pet almost. And as you lead them all inside, the guards kind of greet you, Strigal, and you exchange words with them, and they kind of move in to go talk to the steward on your behalf, while the rest of you are left inside of the chamber waiting.
Just the 4 of us?
And Strigal.
Strigal will
And
look
there's
towards...
There's also a
before
guard
her?
who's just standing at the door as well. The
Oh,
other
the guard
guard
is
is
at the
left.
door. Got it.
Does
Yeah,
it
there's
look
one
as
guard, and then there's you guys.
Does it look as though they're trying to prepare the steward before they
It
are
looks like-
entered?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to notify the steward to see if he's available at the moment, essentially.
Now, I apologize, but I do not know your level of experience in political matters, as it were. It is best to try and avoid impudence if possible, but we will understand if it is difficult. There are cultural differences within many people around the countries of Hearthland. I can only expect that you will try to be as reasonable as possible. The steward is a patient man, but he is a very busy man. I hope you understand.
The moment you
Of
turned
course.
to look, Gaius like stood up, like you physically saw him like just rigid up, clearly showing that he's the most inexperienced.
Kind of seeing that, Strigal will kind of smile, will over towards a pitcher of wine, pour a glass for himself, and then head over to Gaius with another glass with some wine in it.
Oh, that's.
Well,
Gaius looks
Well.
down at it and just looks at him. Thank you. He like gingerly takes it, but throws it back like it's a fucking mug.
Pinky
Oh,
out,
Otho.
chug.
Otho
Oh,
just
right.
turns
I'm
away
sorry. Holds
from
his pinky out.
No, it's quite alright.
pinches the bridge of his nose.
Strigal will kind of spin or sift the wine in the glass for a moment. I shall do as you do, and he will down the whole thing of wine as well.
Oh
my God.
Oh!
Good heavens.
Gaius just
In-
literally does the DreamWorks eyebrow up. Like,
The
oh.
rock eyebrow.
Yeah, I just rock eyebrow.
Know your role.
Strigal, you just slam back like $10 worth of wine in one go.
Oh, you
These are
know, a
ambassadors,
Tuesday.
okay?
It's
for
nice
the sake
wine.
of friendstrip.
Only
for
the
the sake
best
of
for the guests of
companionship.
Hearthland. Yeah.
Otho silently mourns
Strigal will
for that
kind
poor
of-
wine.
Yeah,
Strigal
it was
kind
not
of-
savored at all.
Strigal will kind of use the mage hand to lift both glasses back towards the table where the wine came from.
Gaius
fellow
is
soldier,
awestruck at that.
a fellow soldier, you have my respect, and to the rest of you, I am at your disposal if you have any questions or need anything while you are here.
The sovereign is still King Levi, I assume. I know there was a great debacle recently, and obviously with things being the way they are in Eastern Vale, we haven't been exactly able to be up to date on the affairs of other countries.
Yes, I am sorry to say that Earthhold and Hearthlen as a whole are not as equipped, I would say, as they once were, but we are gaining in momentum in our recoveries from the war. However, the royal family is at present not here. Gone on royal business, you understand. Right now we have our steward who is managing the affairs of the estate.
Yes. The stewards, have they been working long?
Yes, far longer than most.
I see. Who might they be?
I apologize. I'm gonna do my best not to butcher this name. Delsarin Enraith. They are a high elf. They have been working for the royal family for many a decade.
Oh shit! He said high elf. Fuck.
Monty, could you spell that for us?
Yes, I'll grab his name.
Thank you.
Except Shut up.
Do you get to the Cloud District often? Oh, what am I talking about? Of course.
No.
I
Mark,
always
no.
use my one free "You're the Thane of Skyrim" murder on that guy.
That's his name.
Hey.
Delsaran Enrieth.
Enrieth.
So it's
Enrieth.
Delsaron.
Delsaran, yeah.
Okay. Delsaran. Ra ra.
I can't wait for guys to just
Shishkumar.
unceremoniously call him Del.
And now people will
Dude, we
spend the
got
next
Dill.
2 weeks trying to
Dude.
unscramble his name and figure out what it actually is.
Sup, Dell?
Sup, dude?
Dude, we're getting another Dell. Sweet.
No,
yeah.
no, you can't do dude, we're getting Adele jokes in 2023.
Yes, you can. You
That's
absolutely
fucking
can.
illegal.
Show your age, why don't you?
Tell me your age without telling me your age.
God damn it.
I am ancient.
I traveled
Don't
from the
tell
land
me
of
the old
Comp
script
USA.
switch. I was
there when they were written.
I was there when they were written on 5 1/4 floppy disks.
Oh, God.
The internet was held on a singular floppy.
If you
As
sneeze, you
you-
can delete it all.
Does anybody else partake of the wine or any of
Guys, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now that Gaius is like completely like sort of relaxed about that, he's on like chug 2.
Ka-chunk
Good line.
2, Electric Boogaloo.
As you stand there, eventually the guard returns, along with 2 other guards, which is a little intimidating. But as they enter inside, they approach you, Strigal, and one of the guards goes, Master Strigal, the steward is willing to make audience, but the weapons must remain here.
Of course.
We have come to relinquish them and hold them until such time as the meeting is adjourned.
I hope that will not be a problem for you, ambassadors.
Surely you wouldn't separate a lizard from his walking stick.
Gaius is hesitant at that.
Kind of looking over the group, does it appear like any of them are obviously magical?
Lizard folk has a staff.
I would say,
and-
for the sake of companionship, I do not believe I got your name walking up to Iskan.
Oh. How tall is he?
He's about 6'1".
Okay.
Ooh, we
So
gotta beat-
Iskan has 3 inches on him.
Nice.
But they probably see eye to eye because the crest does a lot of work. So looking into his eyes, Iskan kind of looks off to the right really quickly before meeting his gaze again. I'm Iskan Sitlali.
You appear to be a practitioner of magic of some sort. To... Go ahead.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
Okay. To help facilitate companionship, I understand that it may be difficult for some to trust relinquishing their weapons, but for the sake of showing our trust, Strigal will pull out his spellbook and hand it to Iskan. I trust you know the importance of something like that to a practicing wizard. You may hold on to that until you receive your weapons again.
Looks towards Kai.
Iskan.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we get in the room, let me see it.
Iskan's gonna slowly gaze back towards Strigal, and he's
Give
gonna
it to me.
hand Strigal his staff. He will also hand you a small dagger and a boomerang.
All right. He will look at the boomerang somewhat confused and kind of hand it.
Yeah, but both the
off
guards
towards the
lean
guard.
over your shoulder and look at it like, what's just some wood? What the fuck is that? They're just like so confused.
And he'll take the book and sort of just tuck it under an arm.
Now, for the
one
rest
of
of
the
you,
guards,
your weapons.
yeah, the guards all kind of. I guess for the sake of ease,
We'll
is
be here
anybody
for 45 minutes while Gaius
No,
is
yeah,
unloading.
Yeah.
Take the
Is
stuff.
anyone concealing anything? I guess is the better question here for all of you. Is
No.
anyone gonna keep a weapon? on
Nope,
you?
we don't have any orbs this time. We're
No,
good.
but I
Yeah.
pity the poor bastard who's gonna take all of Gaius's one battle axe, one crossbow, one
Oh,
great axe,
fuck,
one
yeah.
halberd, one hand axe.
And
You
how many
watch as, like,
bolts?
Clearly, the guards have a bit of a hierarchy as they hand off all the weapons that Gaius has to like one dude who's clearly like new on the job, and he's just like, "I'm fine, guys. I'm doing great."
Oh, God.
You just keep piling stuff on him. Sure enough, they take your weapons, but they assure you that you will have them returned once the meeting is over. This is pretty standard affair. But as all of you kind of relinquish your weapons, the guards give a nod to you, Strigal, and they point to the door and they say, "The steward and the royal wizard shall see you now."
Very well. If you will follow me, and he'll kind of mage hand the doors open.
The doors open up into a massive, massive throne room with about 6 pillars flanking on the left and right. Large windows that bring in natural light that are framed with blue curtains with a golden trim. A large bannerment hangs behind the 2 thrones that stand at a precipice on top of a set of marble stairs. Behind is a banner of a griffin on a blue tabard that is flanked by 2 halberds pointing in opposite directions. And as you walk in, once again, there's that long blue carpet that runs through the length. And currently, sitting on a cushion on the stairs that lead up to the throne, you see a rather well-dressed high elf with long silver hair that is very straight and well kept, with sort of a kind of laurel look to it on the head, as well as long white robes with blue trim on the sides, a very calm demeanor. And currently on next to every single post is a incredibly well-armed guard. Compared to the ones you've seen in the castle, these guys are built. They also have shields and swords on their side as well. And they're holding their halberds, just looking straight ahead. And currently smoking on a pipe, kind of on the other side of the throne staircase, is a really old wizard with the long brim hat, which is blue, similar blue robes to Sergal as well, but more refined, a lot more baubles and bits, as well as a very large, impressive-looking spell book on his side. And as he kind of gently smokes his pipe, it's just sort of a sweet, rosy scent in the space. And as you approach, the steward kind of stands and makes his way down the stairs and goes, "My most humblest apologies. I am afraid that Her Majesty Queen Elena and His Majesty King Levi are unable to meet you this day due to affairs in the East. However, if you are willing, I would be honored to receive you this day."
The honor is all ours. Lord Enriath, I presume.
You may call me Dalsaran. I am merely a vessel of the King and Queen. No need for such strict formalities. He smiled.
Very well, Dalsaran. I am Otho Valentinius. These are my companions. He'll gesture for everybody to introduce themselves.
Go around the horn, I guess. Gaius Agni.
You watch as he kind of cocks his head at that name and kind of nods towards you, Gaius.
Oh,
Gaius, if you see Strigol, he's gonna kind of gesture for you to puff up your chest.
Oh no, I'm gonna roll an insight, and if I fail this, if I get below a 10, I'm gonna do something dumb.
Oh,
wait,
no! That's a D10!
D10!
Wait a minute!
D10!
Hold on!
D10, D10,
Hold on.
D10.
The game was rigged.
Okay.
Hey.
Guys, okay, I just want to let you all know, if I failed this, he would have proc Giant's Might.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I kind of want that.
Gaius, looks at Strigol and then just, nods, oh, right. And just, stands up, chest out, just, arms, behind his back, just, looking as stoic as he possibly can. But he's still got that lazy little face on.
You know, the old man with the wooded man with the beard, just nodding. That's Strigol towards.
Iskan Sitlali.
Kai. And then he's immediately going to poke you, Iskan.
Let me see the book.
Not now.
Okay, fine. Later.
Slap his finger away.
No. Get that hand out of the candy cup.
Be it from me to pry. Kai, do you happen to have a family name?
Valentinius.
You watch as his brow kind of purses and he goes, "Far be it from me to assume, but I was informed you were here on affairs of Easonvale, not Martorallo."
He is my brother, Dalsaran, but we are, in fact, not here on business of Martorallo. We are not here on Ocean Lord Brutus's agenda. We are here as ambassadors for the country of Easenvale.
I apologize humbly for my invasion of your business. He kind of does like a low bow to you, and he goes, I am to understand that you come bearing a letter bearing the sigil of the Queen of Easenvale. Far be it from me to act in suspicion against such exalted guests, but it was of my information that Queen Easenvale died around 2 years ago, if not longer.
Perhaps then, Lord Del Saran, you should see the letter for yourself.
Of course. You watch as he nods towards the wizard, and the wizard actually approaches. And he kind of gives you a wink, Strigal, as he takes the letter. And you watch as he kind of casts a spell over it and goes, that's good. And he walks over and he hands
Monty?
it off to the steward.
Can I try to identify that spell?
Arcana check.
Let's fucking go.
18.
A very, very rudimentary detect magic spell, but he made it look like it was no work whatsoever. But he takes the letter and he hands it off to the steward and returns back to his post. And he kind of gives you a look, Strigal, like, look at you, you're doing so good in a kind of a way.
Kai will lean into Iskan's ear again.
He just cast detect magic on it. He was checking it. That's great. Thanks for the update.
Do you remember the Ratatouille scene where that guy opens the letter and starts reading, and it just like it zooms in more and more, and like they read more fast?
Eyes bug out. Yeah.
Yeah, his eyes don't bug out, but he reads incredibly quickly. And as he reads, you notice that this is like a 7-page letter, and it is a long, long letter. And you stand there awkwardly as he reads it. Until eventually he refolds it and places it inside and goes, I am indeed very apologetic that the king and queen could not meet you in person, though with my great assurances, they shall receive this letter and shall read it in full. However, to hear that Easenvale is no longer under the thrall of such a curse is nothing but a boon for Hearthland. I assume you've come here to discuss trade routes as well as other information pertaining to the now liberated Easenvale, yes?
In fact, that is precisely why we were here. We were hoping that we could alleviate each other's troubles, as it were.
Don't forget about the treaty.
I guess the, what was it called? The Trinity Accord?
The Trinity Treaty, yeah.
The Trinity Treaty hopefully is still in effect.
It is known historically that the Trinity Treaty was signed by the Easenvale family line, though Carolyn Aluthander married into the throne by technicality, by her presence in Easenvale, assuming she has taken up the mantle, at least on the end of Hearthland, though I cannot assume in entirety. By rights of the ancient treaty, nothing has been brokered just yet. It is still instated and thusly shall not be changed. However, in this letter, Lynn did mention that you intend to become the future rulers of Easenvale, that in which will cause a bit of a rupture within the treaty that has been stained, but perhaps in the time of which the Queen's reign continues, there may be avenues to reinstate a new treaty with you as the, what would be the term? I suppose the perpetrators, the ones who it relays to, or is that been consented by. However, until such time as Lynn is no longer in position, unfortunately, a new treaty cannot be rewrought, as his ancient tradition has remained as such.
I see.
This I can relay in formal writing to the Queen, if it suits you. However, the King and Queen will be returning in not a short amount of time, but in a few weeks' time. If you wish to remain in Hearthland and revisit, I'm sure that the King and Queen could speak to you directly in these affairs and give more pertaining details, as they were the ones who signed upon the treaty when it was invoked in ancient times.
We
do, as a matter of fact, have other business in Hearthland that we might attend to that would keep us occupied for a couple of weeks. Speaking of which, and then he'll look to the court wizard. You are Master Candlestaff, are you not?
Yes. I am Master Heckavetta Candlestaff at your service. And he kind of gives a low bow and takes off his hat. You notice that the hat...
Name?
Heckavetta.
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 Is it as syllabic as it
Heckavetta.
sounds?
Heckavetta. Yep.
Say it with
I
the
was
phlegm.
so close.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Heck
did I get
instead of a
it? Wait,
D.
heck.
Heck.
I did get it. I finally freaking got one. Oh no, I missed the D. Fuck.
Yeah, I put a T, but
Damn it, I did put a T. Fuck.
Get dunked on.
You already knew his name, cheater.
Yeah, fuck you.
Kai will look over Otho will look over his shoulder at Kai.
Kai is currently like whispering into Iskan's ear as you turn around. He immediately stiffens and stops.
Yeah, his face will sort of like get a bit more intense, and he'll like subtly point his head towards the mage Candlestaff.
Kai will kind of look at him and then back to you. I assume you're telling him to speak.
He'll mouth to you. That's the mage.
Oh, right. Candlestaff, staff. We are here looking for a magic artifact, and it's going to be keeping us busy for a while.
He strokes down his very long beard, and he kind of thinks for a while and goes, "What manner of creature is that on your shoulder? I've never seen such a thing before."
Oh, that's a wark.
Walk.
Yep.
Seems almost like a small gargoyle of some kind.
Wark, are you a gargoyle?
Mark.
Yeah, no.
Master Steward, if perhaps I could entertain our guest on this affair, I'd be curious to see what has brought them to Hearthland beyond business of formalities and trade routes. The steward kind of looks back and goes, "If you would be received by Master Candlestaff, I would consent to this. However, with duly respect, we have no want or request of your staying here, meaning that you will have to stay in inns in the capital city. We apologize for this inconvenience."
That is
all.
perfectly fine, Delsaron. It would give us an opportunity to look over your lovely city.
Can I insight that actually, Monty?
Yeah, go for it.
Just trying to figure out if there's like something going on for why they wouldn't be willing to put up official royal guests. That's an 11?
Yeah, you're not sure,
Yeah.
so no information,
You know.
unfortunately.
Hey, I've got a +6 in this rolls.
That's right. It's not really helping you right now.
Welcome back,
Well-
Mark.
Yep, it's good. The nat 20 was just
You got your
know,
one.
Yeah.
While my authority as steward is not all-reaching as the king and queens, is there anything else I may assist you with? I cannot allow for anything, but if there is another purpose of your visit or anything in a sort of personal venture of which we can assist you with, beyond that of which you wish to consult of Candlestaff, I am interested to hear.
I have personal matters.
He kind of gives you a nod. He goes, "I apologize. You said your last name was Agni, correct? May I speak with you?"
Guy just like looks to Otho like, did I just fuck up? Just looks like the biggest, just like, what have I done? Face.
Oh no.
Otho will silently like shake his head, like probably not.
On a hunch, Strgal will kind of slowly kind of walk up to Gaius and kind of whisper towards his ear, and on a hunch in giant, "Do not worry. He is merely trying to protect you."
Whoa, stood up straight, looks at you, just like wide-eyed, Gaius has his perpetual, like, always tired look on his face. His eyes beam open the moment you speak in giant.
And then once more in giant, Otho will iterate, "If you had offended anybody, they would let you know."
Gaius like clears his throat and like stands straight. arms behind his back. Yes. Very well then.
He looks and goes, Sturgal, if you would not mind being a guide for our guests as they remain inside the castle.
Of course, master.
He kind of gives a nod. Candlestaff immediately follows after your group and is like, oh, this is going to be exciting. And he kind of rubs his hands together as he follows excitedly after you guys.
Experiments, yes.
As the doors close
New
behind
test
you,
subjects.
leaving you, Gaius, and the guards, the steward turns towards the guards and goes, gentlemen, a moment of privacy, if you will. And the guards all kind of look at each other like, whoa, okay. And the guards like turn and they leave the chambers in a steady march.
Gaius is sweating bullets. Like, what do I do? What did I do? What did I do? Oh, fuck.
You watch
He's
as the steward
not
kind
saying
of
this out loud.
You watch as the steward kind of steps forward and kind of looks to you and goes, it has been a while since I've seen a member of the Agni family.
I take it you mean my uncle. Tagged Agni.
Tag Agni. No, I'm more familiar with your father, actually. Not related, though. And you watch as their form shifts, and you see standing in front of you a much taller creature you are more familiar with, of a forest giant, standing before you.
Gaius immediately slouches forward, like, exhales his breath. Oh, finally I can speak to someone who's, like, on par with the secrecy I had left when I had to leave home? Wait. What? Confused, like, excuse? This is a lot to take in.
Yes, it is. I'm surprised to see you here. Last I heard, you all headed southward through Hearthlen.
Oh, well, considering the fact that, I was in stasis, I guess is the best way to put it, for a year, I left much earlier of my own accord. I went to go be like my uncle and make a name for myself. I was growing tired and weary of the forest itself. I wanted to be more like my uncle, or at least make a name for myself that wasn't just stuck home where I could be a burden or not useful.
Oh boy, that does run in the family, I suppose. He kind of scratches the back of it, and you notice now, you see him, his hair is exactly the same. He has kind of a light sort of like teal blue color to his face. The same kind of nose that your father has, as well as a much thinner body, but still that kind of robust. He's not as buff as your dad, but he's much thinner, and he definitely doesn't look like he's part of your family, but he does look like he is part of the overall family, if that makes sense in terms of the people you're familiar with. And he goes, I am estranged from my forest home. I had a bit of a experience, to say the least. Though I have not visited in some times, I do remember your father having you when you were just a tiny thing. But
Hi,
it is...
firstborn.
Yes, you are very tall now. I see that your mother and your father's blood has made for an interesting son. I will say that much.
Oh, well, thank you. I know my mother calls me her little blueberry.
Do your friends know?
About how much knowledge are we speaking here?
About us?
No, I've kept that as close-lipped as possible. As part of my agreement for being led astray out of the woods, I made a personal vow to not speak of our homeland to anyone else. But it appears that vow has been broken since an entire year of stasis has gone through.
Well, I would still keep it secret, though the woods themselves are not safe anymore. No doubt you've heard rumors of what has happened to the southwest.
I only now wish to know at least where my family is gone, or at least I know my uncle roams around. I would at least like to have him. I know he was a middle point for the rest of the family, and if he knows where they are, at least have them travel back to my new home, or their new home. I want it to be theirs.
Well,
Something...
not directly. I had heard of your father and your mother making their way through. Given my...
grandmother?
I did not hear word of your grandmother. I'm very sorry, but I have heard word of your father. He and I grew up together, so we are friends of a sort, though our paths diverged, as you can probably tell. He kind of gives a smile.
Oh, clearly.
But your uncle, they were looking for him too.
I figured he'd be a
Some-
little bit more difficult to track down.
They mentioned something about a monastery, but I don't know what the details are. I heard reports of an entourage of elves making their way through along with some satyrs, and I took note of that and made some inquiries by some of our personal consultants. He kind of leans forward. Spies. So that is all I was able to yield at this time. But they are safe, most of them are. Their numbers were lessened. So I'm a bit concerned about the state of things, though your father, I hear, is in good health at the very least to travel. But they said that they were heading south. But they are fine, and it seems as though you are quite busy with your own affairs here. I will not tell you where to lead your path, but at least I can give you a semblance of peace.
Aye. Peace enough that I feel like at least there's some little ray of hope.
Be it me a hypocrite to say as such, but you may wish to keep our people a secret still. We are
of
a
course.
shy folk.
Oh, of
Though-
course. I would absolutely... Well, I will not speak of who we are or our secret to anyone. Lord knows that's probably a good reason why my family was pushed away. But I will ask this. Father never told me anything about, us and the blood of the giants that... Gaius actually, like, holds his finger up, like, claps his hands, like, oh, right, procs giants might.
Ah, he kind of jumps back at that. That's not normal. I mean, not that I'm aware of. I've never seen this before. Though your father was a warrior of an ancient art back in his lineage. Can you become smaller again, or are you just like that? How long are you going to be like that? I have other meetings to attend to.
He, like, Gaius kind of just, like, smiles a bit, just, like, taps the side of his nose, like a Santa Claus sort of bit, and just, like, shrinks back down. I could do this at will.
Interesting. I've heard of this art. I've never seen it before. Your father was raised by warriors, as I'm sure he told you many a time, though those ways were not quite tapped into, as our seclusive and solitary nature made us strangers to consistent conflict.
It's kind of not... Well, I was hoping that someone could give me a little bit of explanation of what's going on, but it's kind of nice to know I can... Gaius holds up his book. I've been writing my journey through life in this little book here. Nice to know that something is unique out of me. That was one of the main reasons why I left home. I thought I wasn't special.
Yes, well, you learn a lot about yourself when you leave home. He kind of looks at you, and you can see that he's kind of relating to you a little bit.
Well, you have my full assurance that I will speak not of our people.
Yes, I would. There are those who would find our kind a commodity, so it is dangerous. But again, your family made their way to some sort of monastery of some kind. I wish I could give you more information, but they are safe. Perhaps in your ventures, you will find them. It sounds like you are well traveled. You found me. And of course, let us keep my true identity a bit of a secret.
Of course. And if you see Hoder ever again, tell him where I am.
I will. And if you see your father, tell him I say hello. It's been many years, and I've grown more into a man than the immature teenager I was in my youth.
Oh, well, don't stay too rigid. We're gonna be friends now after a while, after all.
I suppose so.
Oh,
Anyway, your friends are waiting.
thank you.
Pleasure to speak with you. Truly, it was.
You as well. And Gaius, like, pepping his step way less, like, way more upbeat. he like waits for him to like shift back before he exits out, so like no one actually sees it as he exits out. As you guys see Gaius return, he is like just back to his normal giddy little self.
The rest of you have been enjoying fruit and wine as you make your way out, and yeah, sure enough, you've just found yourself a furbolg.
Holy shit!
Damn.
He's been
Looks like your meeting went well, Mr. Agni.
Oh, very much so.
Everything all
Good.
right?
Oh, yes. Relations between our countries is going to go along very swimmingly, I can tell.
That's excellent to hear. Perhaps you could elaborate on that when we're in more private company.
Perhaps a little bit later. For now, we have a town to see.
Oh,
Can you please take your weapons, please? I'm dying here.
I was just
Oh,
gonna
yes,
say.
of course. Just like
All of them
just like-
clattered to the ground.
I just grab every single one of them in one clump hand, which makes no fucking sense because some of them are two-handed.
That reminds me. Here you go. Was it Strigal?
Yes, Strugal.
Here's your book back.
He will kind of take it, look at it for a moment, walk over towards Kai, and hand him the spell book. Which school did you study at?
Kai, having grabbed his rapier back and putting it on his hip, will turn around wide-eyed, again, exactly 3 inches taller than you, because that's how we roll in this party, and look down at the book. School?
You wanted to see the spell book. I assumed you were a practitioner.
Oh, yeah, I'm a reader. I went to university, and
I'm sorry, what
it
was
was
that?
You went to Room University?
Yes, yeah, the one guy I said.
I see. Well, if you can read Draconic, then you should be able to get past some of the introductory notes.
Yeah. Takes the book.
Not self-taught at all!
You watch his candle staff is just smoking his pipe and kind of chuckles to himself a little bit.
Kai's going to start reading it, and you notice that the Draconic doesn't seem to trip him up.
Excellent. Well, if I could, Master Candlestaff, would you mind if I show the ambassadors around our fair city?
You may, but in regard to their business, I would very much like to speak with them. I'm curious about such strangers that have found their way to our doorstep.
What would you say, Master Candlestaff, is the best inn in town for them?
Oh, I'd say the Fang of the Dragon. That's a good one.
Excellent choice. Shall we meet you there for evening supper?
I suppose we could. I could get us a private room.
Is that fine with you, ambassadors?
Sounds lovely. I look forward to seeing more of your wonderful country.
Well, have fun, Strigal. Not too much fun, and don't tally away without your studies.
Of course, you know me, Master. I will keep my beak clean, mostly.
As always, it'd be good for you to make some new friends.
You're kind of like shy at that, but please, if you would follow me, ambassadors.
Sure.
Ah, yes, we're going to an inn. We're getting you some stronger stuff than wine.
I recommend caution, actually.
Well, if you would prefer to visit more parts of the town, or our keep here has an immaculate library if you want to go there first, but the choice is yours.
Yeah. Well, I mostly just meant that Gaius here can drink quite a bit.
Oh, as can I. I look forward to our time this evening, then.
Competition?
Uh,
Staring daggers at you.
Kai is going to
combat.
slightly like sidestep towards Otho. Hey, Otho,
Yes.
Can I go to the library?
Someone should probably accompany you.
Do you want to go to the library?
Very well.
Yes.
It is worth noting,
Um,
Strigal, that when you are guiding guests, you cannot have them split up. They have to stay with you the whole time.
Damn.
Yeah.
If we wish to go to the library, please follow me. It is just around the corner, and I know the person directly. But worry not, and he'll present his library card. I can get us in.
Oh, snap, he's got a card.
Oh.
Look out, he's got a weapon.
A god ray comes out from a window and gleams on it.
The holy library card.
Kai will kind of stand up tall. Well then, Mr. Kree, after you. He'll kind of walk.
Please, just Strigal is fine.
Why does nobody correct him when he does it? And he points at
Otho
Otho.
rolls his eyes.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that both Strigal and Delsaron have been like, no, don't call me by the easier to pronounce name. Use the
Yeah,
harder
call me
one."
by my full, hard to pronounce first name.
Look, I don't want to go easy on these honkies. They gotta.
Damn it.
I approve the use of the word honkies in this
It's
situation.
true.
Yeah, that
He's a
works.
bird. He can use that. It's their word.
That's going in the shorts.
It's their word.
All right, so you take them to the library. The library is, first of all, it's organized. It's also huge. It's probably 3 or 4 times the size of the Eastonville Library. It is a huge archive, and you do see scholars kind of flipping through books, as well as at a desk a very old-looking dwarven woman with kind of gray-red hair, glasses on the brim of her pointed nose, like kind of a little bit of a hunch from age, currently kind of stamping and stacking books as you enter. And she goes, "Oh, if it's not Strigal with friends. Hello."
Hi, I am bringing some ambassadors from outside of our borders who wish to explore the library. I assume that won't be a problem. And he's gonna hand her some, like, her favorite sugar cookies as a kind of a bribe.
"Oh, Strigal, you're so sweet." And she takes them. "Just as long as they're quiet and they don't disorganize the books." And she kind of gives you all a warning glance. "By all means, partake."
Is there like a system or an organization, all this stuff?
It is based off history, mathematics, archaeology, astrology, animal husbandry, you name it. There are sections. There's also a lovely children's section as well. Alphabetical and organized, as is dutiful.
Oh, do you have any books on druidic magic?
Druidic magic. That would probably more Candlestaff's preview. Unfortunately, we do not contain any arcane documents.
Sorry, Iskan.
What? I
What?
thought we were here for you.
I want to look.
Yeah,
for
but I
stuff.
was looking for a book for you.
Oh.
Sorry. What about books on like I don't know, say like schools of magic, like abjuration, conjuration, necromancy, anything of that sort.
I'm afraid that would still be the Grand Wizard's
Darn it!
private
I
collection.
mean, yes, terribly inconvenient.
Brother,
Have something
volume.
that-
Sorry. What about histories of religion?
Ah, yes, that would be over here. You watch as she gets off, and as she gets off this chair, you notice that she's like the same height as the chair when she stands, and she starts like scuffling, like very much like Madame Foster from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends
Oh
energy.
my god.
Excellent.
As she brings you over, and she brings you over into a very nice section, which is a sort of a theocratic, like historical section of gods and celestials. And she does look at you, and she goes, "If you are looking for anything on demonology or infernal invocations, I'm afraid that those are restricted books. They are not for private access, I'm afraid. But here is our collection."
Nice. Do you have anything on the Orn clergy by any chance?
I believe we do. And she kind of films, "What are you looking for specifically? Are you looking for histories of their political standing?"
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like just basically looking to see what they're all about. So yeah.
You know what? We have this new book called The Ancient Eclipse. Let me find that one for you. And she kind of thumbs through, and she pulls out a kind of red bound book that has a sort of sun sigil on the front, and she hands it to you. And this book is like almost the same size as her, and she's like not toppling over. Like she's just built for different stuff as she hands it up to you, Kai.
Yeah, this is perfect.
I hope you enjoy it.
I think I will. Hey, Otho.
Yes, I heard. Yes, that
I'm gonna go find a
certain
table.
visions came to mind whenever that word was mentioned.
Table now, please.
Mhm.
Table.
Gonna
Grab a
open
brush
it
and
up
put a
so that
little
people
table.
can read it with me.
While they're
Uh,
reading that, does anybody else want to read anything else, or is everyone kind of
I
wanting to
do.
read the same book? All right, Gaius, what are you looking for?
Well, I have one of two things. One, I'd like to look for any history pertaining to the giant war. And if not, I'm going to find the kids section and find the most mystical fucking book there is. And I'm gonna Deus Ex Machina my brain to make it into an existence.
Go ahead then for me. You can either consult the librarian who can try and find something for you, or you can try and search yourself. It is up to
I'd
you.
like her to do it because I can't do that. How
All
about
What is the
that?
Dewey Decimal System?
All right, the librarian. Giant war. I'm not aware of any giant war. There is an archaeology book and a mythos book that perhaps might pertain to some sort of giant fight.
I like mythos.
Okay. So mythos book it this way, and you watch as she scuttles. She grabs like they have like the sort of ladders that latch to the bookshelf, and you watch it just with like a push of her foot. She like kicks it, and it like kind of slides down this long bookshelf, and then stops, and then she just walks up, and it stopped at like the perfect place, and she grabs a book. It's a smaller book, and she hands it to you, and she goes, "This is an ancient story of Delvaria and her triumph against the fire giants of the east."
Okay, thank you.
Anything else for you, dearies?
Yes, actually, do you have an almanac section?
Almanac section. Above board, what's almanac? What does that mean?
Maps.
Maps.
Oh, yeah. She goes, yes, we have different types of maps. We have seafaring maps. We have historical maps, though I cannot vouch for their accuracy as they are historical. We also have sky charting maps, navigational books. What are you specifically looking for?
Actually, you said you have sky charting maps? That actually sounds really interesting.
This way. And she kind of scuttles over, and she grabs you what appears to be like a really like not a big book, but just like, you know, like those dragonology books you got as a kid, or like the like those really big like pop-up books that are just large. It's that, and as you flip it open, it is essentially like how to chart directions and like how to use the stars as navigation. And then like with some little historical like, you know, mythos concepts, and like, oh, in the lands of Ruba, the stars are called this and that because these colors are reflective of these blah blah blah. It's very much like that. But it's neat. It's a very interesting looking book that has a lot of information in it for sure.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
Does anybody else want to look at anything?
Historical tomes pertaining to Hearthland.
Hearthland, okay. Go ahead. I would say librarian. Librarian's like, oh, historical tomes. We have the lineage of the royal family, though that one I believe might be taken out at the moment. We also have pertaining to the wolves, the main threat, the beginnings of the halberdiers, the pet griffins that are known as the symbol of Hearthlen, as well as the founding of Hearthhold. What are you looking for specifically?
You mentioned something about a threat.
Threat? Wolfen threat, yes, the wolves.
Ah, yes, I recall hearing something about cursed wolves in the region.
We have many books on this, many accounts of interactions, studies by druids, that sort of thing.
Show me the one about the halberdiers.
Indeed. And you watch as she kind of goes, and once again, this woman like knows where everything is. It's like actually kind of terrifying. And it's almost painful because of how misorganized your library is, and your librarian the Eastonville librarian is shit compared to this woman. And she hands you off a very nice tome that bears like an inlay, like a silver inlay of two halberds crossing. It's really, really nice. These books are very nice books. She looks towards you, Sturgal, dear, did you want anything, or are you just...
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm here to simply observe our guests.
Very well.
If I could have my favorite chair.
Of course, dear, of course. She kind of pats you, like grandma pats you on the shoulder, and she scuttles over. And sure enough,
candy for you.
find yourselves, there's like these large round tables and a bunch of different things you guys can sit down in. There's like, cushioned chairs, there's nooks. You see people kind of discussing poetry and things like that as you all make a seat. And I'm going to go in order. I'm going to say immediately for the first book, which Kai, you have, which is the book on, my brain just fried, the Eclipse. Go ahead and roll for me either just a straight intelligence check for information.
God, here we go. 12.
12. This is a more religious book that cross-references hymns and different worshiping of Orin, and how the potentiality of like certain prayer led to an eclipse, and theories about the responsibility of the worshiper with the thing they worship. Again, I wish I had stuff you could read. I don't want to just like, give you information, but more or less it details, like theorizes the cause of the eclipse, with references to the Periton Uprising, as well as the Ruba essential worship and potentially the shift in domination. There's also talks of lack of worship in the Underdark, as well as in the jungles of Tadalon and things like that. And
does it specifically reference the Uprisers, like by name, or is it just called them the Uprisers?
It's called the Sunchild Rebellion, specifically. And it details a rebellion that coincided with the eclipse. And there are theorists that believe that it was potentially tied directly to the eclipse itself, but there's no evidence to prove this. It's just theory crafting. Cool. And it goes into detail about that the current ruling bodies of Periton, ever since then, there hasn't been an issue since, but there is a sort of sense of unease in regard to it. The eclipse itself is completely theorized. Everyone thinks it might have been not even an Orin thing. Maybe it was a third party, like a demon or a devil, or something happened, an act of retaliation by the ancient demon god Noct, like all this stuff that's kind of talked about.
Gotcha.
More or less concluding with, make sure to, one should covet and respect the sun, for we shall not know what will happen if it were to ever disappear on us, essentially. That's sort of like a cautionary study in a way. Milo might find it interesting. It definitely feels like more of a religious text than like an academic one in ways.
Cool.
Gaius, you pick the book of the ancient story of Delvaria and the fire giants. I would like for you to roll me an intelligence check as you read it.
Okay. Look. Intelligence. Baby legs, here I go.
Intelligente.
Wait,
16.
Holy shit.
Pretty good. Gaius, as you flip open the book, the first thing you notice is that there's like dust in between like the pages, like deep in between. This book has definitely seen travel for sure. And as you flip through it, it is a handwritten account of what appears to be someone chronicling Delvarian like legends. 16 is very good. This book kind of details the person's travels in Delvaria, the arid landscape, the difficulty of travel, the ferociousness of beasts that like fly or under earth or gallop the lands in fast pace, mighty creatures that are terrifying to behold, with some, very medieval style sketches, like the borders that they do with like the creatures or the guy jousting with the
Here
snail.
be dragons.
Here be dragons art. It's very much like in that sort of sense. But with a 16, the main crux, like the story you're able to kind of sift through and find, is the story of Delvaria, who is not just the name of the country, but a mythical figure, a female warrior queen who was essentially the sort of main powerhouse of the country, who had dominated the region, conquering the Null armies of Ragarak and Ganache, the despoiler of the demon cults of Tahir, a woman who could drink 30 cups of ale in one sitting and could continue on for probably 60. She who birthed 100 children. And the book details her basically butting heads with fire giants that dominated the eastern region, and how they had enslaved many of Delvaria's people, all alike, to use in forgeries and other horrible conditions. They were mistreated and abused, and how Delvaria didn't just right away go in and fight the fire giants, but the mythos that she had slept with several of them first before killing them in their sleep, and then proceeding to then take out the king of the fire giants and decimated their numbers as a warning to anyone who would see her people in chains. It's a very epic tale, and it's like, oh my god, like there's blood and gore and like betrayal, decapitation, and it's very like definitely bespoken by someone who is very passionate about this tale, and is definitely been scribbled down by some sort of anthropologist of some kind, some like chronicle of lore. It's a very epic tale.
Dear Agni Odyssey, today I learned that Delvaria is a girl boss. Holy shit. All right, cool. Is there anything in this book that claims like either the last sightings or like is there an end to this tale? Like, does the mythos have an ending, or is there just like, did she just like, I must go, my planet need me sort of scenario?
It doesn't really tell you where she goes. The tale seems to be focusing on this one epic that is her defeating the fire giants after dealing with all these other threats. There is excuse me, dust in the books. There is an entry about how one of the interviewed people, the people who told the story, mentioned that there are those who believe that Delvaria herself is Vetrion, or is an extension of Vetrion, or is even a celestial of Vetrion sent to the material plane to show men how to be true warriors, like all this sort of crazy stuff. But that's all you really get. There's no talking about where she went or what happened, but it seems to be a very passionate tale.
Sick.
I believe next up we had Escan.
Me.
Mm-hmm. Escan, your book is very interesting. I would like you to roll me an intelligence check. It is unfortunately very dense.
4.
4.
Mark's back, baby.
Let's go. I just want knowledge.
You do get knowledge. There's interesting information about the creation of the stars, said to be made by the god Ilune, the god of the moon and stars. Some say that the stars are her toys, of which she plays with across the moonlight sky. Some say it was made because the moon was lonely and things like that. The star maps themselves are very dense, and you feel like you're going to need tools to like use this in tandem, unfortunately. But now you know, next time if you ever get a star map, you're going to probably need some tools to help kind of facilitate that beyond cartography's tools.
Okay.
So unfortunately with the 4, you don't get much information beyond that. It's just like, you know, look at these star maps, but I don't have the right tools to basically transfer them into actual tangible like application, unfortunately. But it is a very nice book, very well illustrated.
Sweet.
Book's name
I'm
is
very
best I
sorry.
can do is a 4.
I got a picture book.
You got a picture book. And then Otho, I would like you to roll an intelligence check, please.
Here I go. That didn't roll, did it?
Nope.
Sure didn't.
There
There it is.
17.
17. Your book chronicles the, you know, the training and sort of legends of the halberdiers, you know, stories of battle and whatnot. It's very much like in ye old times, Dave whatever the fuck was captain of the guard of whatever what, and he perfected the sweep
Different
technique
names
that is
back
now,
then.
yeah,
John Bumblefuck.
Must be an elf.
yeah, that was used in the battle of blah blah blah. It's very like ugh, like when you're reading it, because it's just like, oh, this move was invented by this halberdier in this era of this time, and it was applied in this way. However, there is really interesting accounts, which is the foes that the halberdiers do fight and why the halberdiers came into being. In ancient times, the wolves were fought with swords and shields, but it is said that too many wolf bites could lead to a frenzy in a warrior, a long-form warrior, and so to mitigate this, great warriors were armed with halberds to keep them on the field for longer, which is why halberds are now used in Hearthland against the wolven threat. There are talks about wolves of unusual size, as well as wolves of almost of humanoid nature. It's very interesting and talks about these large battles. In terms of war, there are many stories of, different designs of halberds used in specific instances, enchanted halberds used in times of war. But then there's also other weapons listed there, like swords, bows and arrows. But halberds were definitely like kind of the main thing, though spears are used for recruits. So a less experienced soldier tends to bear spears, whereas a more experienced soldier tends to bear standard halberds, and an extremely experienced halberdier wields magical halberds. So that's kind of the hierarchy there. But with the 17 intelligence, that is what you get.
WOUSs. I thought they didn't exist.
Yo, by that story's logic, I'm halfway there.
I believe that's all the books. As you all kind of sit and read for a while, time passes and you guys get information.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
Trigal will be his favorite chair is kind of just like 4 chair legs with like a roost for him to sit on. As he just kind of sits on the roost and unfurls his feathers to be a giant ball shape, as he is very, very plump.
Oh.
Can I request a break, please?
Yes, I meant to do that, but you guys went to the library, so.
Well, now we can.
As you guys return the books, because you can't take them with you, they have to remain in the book of the library. You guys make your way out, and I'm assuming to the inn, to go discuss matters of magical persuasion with Lord Candlestaff, as well as your new companion in Strigal. And as we do so, this is where we're going to take our break.
Woo!
Man! This rules!
Woo!
I'll be right
Fucking
back.
lore drop episode.
Oh, shit. And ladies and gentlemen, with that break, it is now time for the Bosco halftime show. What up, y'all?
I'm just going to say this right now. If anyone in the Discord just like, geez, Monty just expositioned this session. They went to a library. They wanted
It's true.
this. Don't get mad.
Shell is like, write this down, write this down.
Write it down, write it down. I told you I got you, Shell.
I'm sure.
anybody
I'm
have-
sure your audience hates the lore dump.
They do. They really do.
Just look for this information, please.
So,
There is
real
a
quick,
bingo square called New Lore About Delvaria. You bet your sweet fucking
you
bippy.
bet, we got it. Bingo. So, bit of housekeeping for all you YouTubers that are listening to this. First of all, number one, I get it. The YouTubers listen to the halftime show. I appreciate y'all. There's so many messages. Second of all, there was somebody who wanted to test my Chicagoism. So the first question was Cubs or White Sox, and you spelled Sox wrong, so I'm sure you're a Cubs fan. I am actually bisexual. I root for both teams. I do lean. I do have a Cubs. I do have a Cubs preference, but I was a fan of the White Sox when they won the World Series. They're both Chicago teams. I like them both. Yes.
Shut the hell up. Minmo is here.
Oh shit!
Who?
A rare Minmo sighting.
It's Minmo.
What?
Grow up
Who's
strong
Minmo?
and healthy, Minmo.
What's a
He's
Minmo?
so old.
If
He's
you
so
have-
old now.
If you see Minmo, it's already too late.
Oh shit.
Minmo's my
Hello, I'm
hamster. He's very elusive, so seeing him is a rare sight. But he's eaten. That's good.
Serious, thank you for the 5 bits. Hey Bosco, I actually like the lore dump. I bet you do. Doug, I thank you for the 100 bits. Question, Bosco, is the new guy a hoot? And yes, I went there. I know you did. It hurts.
And a holler.
Drifter of time and space, thank you for the 1,500 biddies. Hey Bosco, loving the session, love the lore, and love the halftime show. Wark. Wark, wark, wark. So Zan,
Yes.
how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Nice.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. This is surreal for me. This is a fucking blast.
I get it because work's here.
Totally.
Yeah.
The Drifter of Time and Space. Thank you again for another 500 bits. Bosco, any places to visit in Chicago? Actually, there's a lot of cool places. It 100% depends on what you're into, but the Sears Tower, the Willis Tower, but the Sears Tower, tallest standing structure in North America, really cool to go up to the top of that thing. Getting dinner at the top of the John Hancock, which is another skyscraper in Chicago, really cool. Check out the Water Tower place. This is a place that I actually was telling Zan about a couple of weeks ago. The Great Chicago Fire burned Chicago down in I think it was the 1800s. The water tower is the last remaining structure from the Chicago fire because while everything else was built with wood, that was a stone building. And so the original water tower is still standing. So it's a nice piece of Chicago history. And it's right next to the John Hancock. There is the Bean. You can go see the Bean in Millennial Park. There's great museums, the Museum of Science and Industry, the Nature Museum, the Aquarium, the Adler Planetarium. All that stuff is great. Just go in downtown and you'll find a ton of stuff. I could sit here and talk about it all the time.
Yeah, enjoy your Chicago lore, everyone.
It's true. You want to talk about the lore drop?
Yo, chat.
Let's see. We got. Oh, go ahead. What's up?
I am pleased to announce that I am back in the East Coast because I now have a giant bag of Wise cheese doodles and I am on cloud
Hey,
fucking 9.
this guy.
Cloud 9. I haven't had these in 8 years.
Is it worth the wait?
Had them. What are they?
Oh yes.
Hockey Dude, thank you for the 45 bits. Can't wait for Milo to come back next session with the Pie Ghost as the new royal chef.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Jet Knight Gaming, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Lunch money. Volk, thank you for the 100 bits. EastCon book, if it was about to talk. Come, EastCon friend, or trade her. Let us talk about, are you a lizard folk? Oh, it's nothing. A 4 you rolled on me for how to read. Okay, here is a moon and star. So help me, moon and star. If you can't get better than a 15, I will burn myself in the fireplace.
Jesus Christ.
That's,
I would just walk
well,
out.
That was a journey.
That was the journey. I didn't know where we were going, but I'm
just
glad
walk
you're all
out.
here for it. Callum Draws, thank you for the bits. Really like the new guest so far. I will be sure to draw the new Bird Boy plenty.
Well, thank you.
Also, I half called it.
I
you?
also half called it.
What did you
Hey,
call
well,
them?
I guess you get half inspiration.
Oh boy.
Great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, inspiration
Connor-
points are rounded down.
Connor guessed Kenku Paladin was Connor's guess. So we
Really?
got
No,
half
I
of it.
I guessed
Oh.
Kenku Ranger.
Oh, Ranger. That's right, Ranger. Sorry.
Yeah.
Paladin was my initial guess, but then I second guessed myself. I said Kenku Ranger.
I anticipated a caster of some kind.
I also
have no
anticipated
idea.
a caster, but I did not anticipate the Kenku, but I should have known he would troll me.
Just
How's
a
that
little bit.
trolling you?
A light. spritz
a
trolling.
dab of a troll.
Also, hello,
Killer
Evie. I saw
Chance.
that.
Killer Chancey, thank you for the 10 bits. I went to Chicago for a show, went to the hot dog place called Fasto's Last Stand, and after a Chicago dog, I can't go back to normal hot dogs. Nice.
But did you have
Cosmo-
Nathan's?
Nathan's is the New York
That's New
hot
York.
dog.
That's
That's
the
New
big.
York, dude. That is.
Yes, that's the big.
You are not funny. Constable Mutton, you will perish. 5 bits, thank you so much. So, which of the characters would most likely be able to learn Mahjong? I'm betting Gaius. Really?
I don't know how to play mahjong. You think Gaius would know?
I think Otho would be good
I feel
at
like
it.
Kai, Otho or Kai would do it.
Yeah,
Gaius
Otho's really
would
good at
eat the
strategy.
pieces.
That's why he wins all the time. That's why he's so good
The-
at it.
Drifter of Time and Space, thank you for the bits. Thanks for the recommendations. I'm loving all the lore drops tonight. Hell yeah.
That's the secret. No one knows how to play mahjong.
Oh no.
That's
Oh
not true.
no. Mark, I'm sorry. Hyromir, thank you for the 5,000
Fuck
bits.
off!
Pyramid.
What up, Hyromir? How are you?
I'm
Good
leaving.
to see you.
I'm
Mark,
not
it's your
playing
friends here.
for the rest of the night. I'm done. I already had enough fucking
You had a
flashbacks
flashback.
tonight already describing
And
the
here's
high
another
elf in his
one.
robes.
No message, so I'm just going to imagine it's the picture. And now it's in your head.
I'm no.
Callum
fuck
Yeah, the
drops
moment
with
I'm
the-
like, he's a high elf, you all freaked out. I'm like, I'm missing important
I was
You
just
are
laughing
missing- yep.
so hard. I had to mute myself. I was like,
Dude, I turned my volume down and we created a group chat.
I was also
Technically-
muted,
technic-
and I just
technic-
sent them triggered.
Yep.
Technically, he's not a high elf. Technically, he's a furbolg in secret.
Yeah,
but,
he was
you know.
the disguise,
Okay, but
but
still,
the
the trigger
description
was real.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Callum draws with the 5 bits. Milo returns. Oh, I see you've replaced me. Dex Ruler, thank you for the bits. I do not change. My name is Electrum Ruler Monty. Sirius, thank you for the 5 bits. You know, if it wasn't for Canada guesting, I would have suggested Work's portrait take Milo's place.
Yeah. Oh,
Canada.
are we good to get back to it?
I'm
I'd
back.
say so.
I suppose.
All right, let's get back to it.
is your blood done boiling, Mark?
I guess.
No. Easy. Whoa, blood magic is illegal, dude. Stop that.
Is Connor here? I heard Zito. Connor, are you here?
Connor.
Okay, Connor's not here.
Well,
Connor's dead.
Allow me
Oh
to
my
continue
God.
drink on stream. Here
well,
I go.
I guess I'm just gonna have to keep reading the bits.
If someone can just play a reverb fart.
Right.
That'll
Magic
replace
Ninja Go,
Connor.
thank you so much for the 50 bits. Ninku Cha Cha Cha. Morth Randor, thank you for the 100 bits. We never forget the old Remy. Hi, new Remy. Fucking damn it.
Hey.
Hey. Zen with 100 bits. With Zen here as an owl, it's a real who's who of D&D players.
Hey.
My joke
Disco
was better.
Tech
Mine
Freeze,
is
thank you for
better.
the thank you for the 500 bits. Gaius gets his crossbow back. I knock an arrow. No!
No, God damn it. I can't do
Unacceptable.
this.
You
I can't.
no. Also, you're not gonna knock an arrow on a crossbow.
Connor, you here?
Hi Ramiro says, I'm doing fine, Bosco. How's that blood magic coming along, Mark?
Fuck off.
There's nothing to see here. There is no war in Bossing Say.
Damn it.
I don't know.
Vina No Various, thank you so much for the bits. Appreciate you. Remy 2.0. Remy 3.0. We've already had the 2.0. We had object, what was it? 11?
Object
8? 12?
Object 8.
Yeah.
All the objects.
13.
Numbers.
The purple swag, Remy. Remy was in purple. What do you mean the purple swag, Remy? What are you doing?
I'm purple.
I prefer orb Remy.
Orb Remy.
Remy.
There you go. That would
Yeah.
work.
Round Remy.
Round Remy. Round Remy. Fart.
Remy looks in a mirror, sees him. Who are you? I'm you, but fluffier.
Who are you? I don't know you.
I have no memory
Papoose.
of this place.
I have no memory of his backstory. Papoose Monkey, thank you for the 10 bits. No, Bosco. It was Remy. Better Remy, Object 11, and now Remy 2.0. Ah, got it. There's a specific order. Also, I take offense to that.
Is Connor still gone?
Connor, more like Goner.
Connor, more like Goner.
Gone.
Goner.
Oh my god.
What I
There
want
he
to know
is.
is,
Connor the
Where's
trash.
where does Bemmy fit into all of this?
Oh,
Oh,
Bemmy.
Bemmy.
Forgot
Well,
about
but hold
Bemmy.
on. If we're going to talk about Bemmy, we got to talk about Wemmy.
That's true. Wemmy was more popular than regular
I was going
Remy.
to say, Wemmy might be the most popular of the trio.
I hate this timeline.
All right.
This is the best
Are you
time
good to
I
go?
talk about.
Yeah.
All
Good to
right,
go.
let's get back to it.
Bye.
Yes,
chat.
you must gather your party before venturing forth.
Better not be the baby one, I swear to God. I don't know what that noise is. Hold on, I'm changing it.
Hey, can you translate that more?
Yeah, it's oity goity.
Yeah.
All right. As you all
Is this the
leave
one with the crying baby?
It is not. This one I know does not contain a crying baby. As you all begin to leave the castle after enjoying yourself at the library, at this point it's probably midday to like late evening, like maybe like a 3 or 4 p.m. As you make your way out of the castle, you see how well like armed it is. There are ballista similar to the ones in Easonvale. But there are also significantly more soldiers. There are way more halberdiers. There are way more just general foot soldiers. And a lot of pigeons as well. There's a lot of pigeons nesting in the castle as well.
Are they part of the armed forces?
Not again.
I wish.
Okay.
But you also notice as well griffins. Not a ton of them, only like a couple of them in like kind of the main yard. You see a servant tending to what appears to be a griffin that is well groomed, well cared for. And it's just kind of like a kind of moment as you make your way through.
Just for the sake of understanding, because we did encounter a hippogriff, how different are the griffins in terms of like size, appearance of countenance, that kind of thing?
And again, we obviously had griffins in campaign 1. This griffin,
We
however, we did. This griffin is a lot more sleek. It's definitely thinner. but not because it's starving. It's just because its body shape is just thinner.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, don't you dare.
Yeah, it has a sort of white and brown peppered feathering with a sort of like auburny red like lion half at the other end, and the wings are a bit more, darty and small. The head is very noble looking with these piercing, just orange eyes, which are really, really
Jesus.
stunning looking. It's a very noble looking creature, and as you kind of look at it, it looks very similar in design to the heraldry of Hearthland.
The Acura of Griffins.
Great, and now we have Volo 2.0. Great.
But as you guys exit the gates, the portcullis lifts, allowing you exit. You find yourself standing before a massive city, buildings of a similar but not as pristine white stone, kind of crammed closely together with a myriad of gray and blue and green roofs that pepper the landscape ahead of you. You see some larger towers and buildings suggesting schools or temples or libraries. It is a massive city. This is a major city. It is not as large as Martorallo, but it is definitely larger than Eastonvale, any of the cities in Eastonvale. It is a large city of Hearthhold, which is the capital city of Hearthland.
Please, my esteemed guests, you may have visited our lovely fortress and castle hold, but the true gem of Hearthland is her people. Please, experience the best that we have to offer.
Of
He'll kind of-
course.
He'll kind of slowly guide them, hoping that they follow him towards his favorite bakery.
Oh, that's
Oh,
where's
no.
Milo?
Oh no. We can't go out of respect.
He lives in us.
He lives in me.
Can't sing that song.
Why not?
I think it's transformative enough. You're fine.
Yeah, I agree.
It's our song.
Oh god.
So,
Stopping-
Sturgal, are you leading them to the bakery?
Stopping by, he'll just grab some more sugar cookies for the librarian, and then grab
Did you
some.
say sugar?
No.
Hey, Monty, is there anything that looks like Milo would enjoy in here based on what I know about his palate?
Ooh, there's like a macaron sack that you can get in like a wooden box.
Yes, done. Already done. Let me know what it costs.
1 gold. It's a very, very nice set of fruit
I'll
macarons.
do it, but golly.
A whole gold. Oh no.
Those better be some really good
Oh,
macarons.
That's coming out. That seriously, it's
No.
coming out of the book fund. Fucking
Please,
damn
please, allow me. You are guests here, and Strigal will pay for it. He will also pay to refill his pouch full of roasted cinnamon crickets that he keeps
You got it.
at all hands.
it.
Easy
Roasted
enough.
cinnamon
I
crickets.
was
That
with
sounds-
you until the crickets.
Yeah, that sounded
I-
delicious. And then
Oh, it's protein. Grow up.
Sorry, I'm
One-
not Monty. I don't just eat bugs.
Listen, I actually need to replenish because I haven't eaten my crickets in a while. And they're
Reloading.
I need to reload them.
Monty,
Tactical
are,
cricket
are
reload.
these gonna stay once I take them?
Like they're not
Like
going to
in your
spoil.
inventory?
No. Obviously, they're gonna stay in my inventory, but like they'll last a couple days, right?
Oh fuck yeah, they will.
Okay,
You're
good.
loaded
He's
with
gonna put it in his
preservatives.
backpack then. Yeah.
Strigal, for all of your goods, it's 5 silver
Got it. And 1 gold.
and
And
1
a
gold
gold.
for the macarons. Yeah.
Got it.
Lovely box with a gold ribbon on it. It looks like it's meant to be like a gift for like, a special occasion or like a partner, but it's nice. It's very, very pleasant.
Who's-
And once again,
Who's the lucky partner? As he hands it to Kai.
Oh, a friend of ours. He's a kind of a chef, baker person, so he's
Yes.
really into baked goods.
Another steward of Eastonvale who unfortunately could not join us on this outing. He had other business that needed to be attended to.
A shame.
Monty,
mm-hmm.
what can I get for a silver?
How many cakes can he buy?
Well, what amount of? Can I get half a cake?
Is it? Am I
Eat a
missing
whole
something? Are
fucking
you like
cake.
not supposed to feed Gaius like red dye number 5 or something?
No,
No,
you're
no.
not.
Well,
It's less about the food itself and more about the sugar.
Yep.
They have this interesting pastry, Gaius, that
Oh,
appears
no.
to be like a circle of pastry, and in the middle is like a sort of like raspberry, almost like jam in the middle.
Oh, excellent. I'll take that.
Yeah, you place it down.
Yeah.
It
Real life Chris Zito loves the fuck out of these.
crispy, crunchy outer inside, soft inside, and that jam is just a little bit tart but really sweet and nice. It's very delicious.
Oh,
It's
I'm
very well
so
made.
happy. I'm so happy there's a Italian bakery nearby because I know what I'm doing tomorrow morning.
I'm sorry.
Reminds me of Grandma.
Well, Gaius comes out biting half of it, one eye starting to dilate, the other one starting to enlarge.
Here he goes again.
Shots.
As you guys make your way out, a group of like 5 kids almost run into you as you guys make your way out, and they're like, oh, they kind of trip over, they're like chasing each other, like, come back! And they kind of run after each other in the city streets. It's lively. There are people out and about, there's carts being led by donkeys, there's individuals kind of shopping on the streets, making their way home. There's also consistent guards. Again, not as refined as the guards you met in the castle, but they are, keeping a watch out, hands on their waist, kind of looking around. Most of them have swords. None of them have halberds, actually. They have swords and shields and crossbows, as they kind of just keep a general eye out.
How does this compare to Martirallo?
Well, a lot more organized, honestly. There's better infrastructure here. It seems to be well planned out. And it's also a bit more spread out and not as tied to the coast.
Okay.
There clearly is sections, you can tell just by the general like crowds. It's very much old medieval town rather than like big boisterous like mixing cocktail of different people speaking different languages.
I see. So it's New York subway layout versus Boston subway layout. One's a complete clusterfuck and the other one is just lines.
Yeah. There are also people preaching on the streets. It's just like, behold the whims and ways of Ilune, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're just kind of like talking about their gods. And
Skyrim belongs to the North.
I was with him until he said, "Buh, buh, buh, buh."
My dearest apologies. Yes, if any of you are practitioners or worshippers of Medicina, the largest temple that I know of is here's Hearthhold.
Ah, yes, Medicina. Apothecary, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed.
Yes, we've been to Hearthland once before. We'd learned of this Medicina.
Yeah, we did. It was really good. It was really great.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why would you ask? Bouncing up and down furiously.
Our friend here responds to sugar very differently
Yeah,
than the
very
rest
much.
of us.
I think of it. I've never had sugar before. I don't know what to say. Why? It's pretty good.
Well
You'll
then,
have to forgive him.
follow me to the tavern, where we can hopefully take the edge off the day's travels and stresses.
Tavern? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna there. Goodbye.
I would say anyone who wants to listen to idle chatter, roll an active perception check.
Let's
Active
go.
perception.
Let's go.
Ha! 14.
You know.
1, 2, 3, huh?
You know, Strigoi.
9! Woo!
Nice.
Nobody got over a 10.
I did. Fuck
You
off.
I said nobody.
Wow. Yes, Monty.
As you're walking by, you hear kind of people chatting about, business, like, oh, I need 3 eggs and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, no, it's too much. And they're kind of making their way through. But you do happen to overhear 2 older men kind of smoking and playing what appears to be some sort of like checkers equivalent game. And you hear one of the men say, it's just a matter of time until the war starts up again. And then like, you just kind of hear that and you're like, ooh, and you keep moving.
There
Kind
is
of
no war in Hearthland.
Poking Strigal a little bit. So how is the city doing in terms of recovering from, well,
Well, 2 years of peace have hopefully been lasting in brevity within the minds of our people, but I will admit that Hearthhold and Greater Hearthland as a whole has had difficulties accepting the terms of the war.
meaning they miss it, or meaning that it's hard to just adjust to life?
Iskan's gonna see Strigoi kind of struggle for a moment. It is more that, well, a lot was lost, and when it was a war over territory, and, well, Hearthland did not fare well in the war. could have been worse. It should have been worse, in all honesty, but we had to make certain sacrifices.
I think I can understand that.
Sacrifices that, of course, were unpopular amongst many.
Well, hopefully as they get to return to their lives, they'll understand.
It will take some longer than others, I assure you, but as one who fought in that bloody war, I am glad to see it behind us.
It is at this point, as you guys proceed forward, you see the sign of the Fang of the Dragon, which is a very, very lovely painted outer like wooden building with a blue roof. And you notice that there are actually like drawings of like a dragon like smiling, holding 2 tankards of ale. Like, this is great. And it's pretty quiet, but this place is more like better for conversation location rather than just like raucous partying. And as you make your way inside, you see a human man with a very interesting presentation to him. And Strigal, you know this man. I didn't give you notes on him, but you know him in passing as an acquaintance. He is human, but his eyes and one of his arms belies a draconic ancestry. As his eyes are that of a dragon's, and his one arm is blue, has blue scaling running down it and like a claw, and he's currently cleaning a drink cup as you enter. He goes, if it isn't Strigal.
Good
Where's the old man?
He'll be here shortly, do not worry.
Right, so have a bunch of new friends, huh? He kind of leans forward and looks at all you.
Yes, out-of-towners. I would be remiss to not allow them to introduce themselves.
Hey, he points at you, Escan. Are we related? He slaps his knee.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, we're not. It's just a little joke. It's nice to see you, Strigal. Yeah, take a seat. You want the private one upstairs, or are you guys wanting to party tonight?
Private one upstairs at first, but we may make our way down later.
Of course. It's all yours.
Strigal's gonna go...
Am I expecting the old man tonight?
I should be by before, well, if you have his normal ready, I believe we want to eat.
Of course. Once he gets here, I'll be sure the food is made up for you.
Excellent.
Don't go destroying the place.
Okay, I'll try my best.
Strigal is going to get some,
Where did he go?
Just on the ceiling.
There's only 2 floors. Where is he?
Strigal's going to order a drink, a round of drinks for everybody on his dime and kind of guide them towards the upstairs private booth before finding a perch on one of the ends of the chair.
Yeah, very, very nice booth. It's very much like a, like, the upstairs is like almost like in rooms that have been converted into just private dining rooms, essentially, with like tables and drinks. There's like, cards and like game sets and things like that, and extra cups and stuff. It seems like a very nice, like refined affair. And you have a tab, Strigal, so you don't have to worry about gold here because you can just put it on your tab. But as you all sit down, again, not as nice as the like the full on like royal treatment that you receive, but purple leather couches with some scratches on them and like, well used, well loved. The window that kind of stares out into the city streets where you see people kind of going about their day. And you can hear like one of the other rooms, there's clearly like some people laughing and joking, but you guys essentially have your own private chambers. You can open the door, you can close the door, it's up to you, but it is yours to which to use.
Open door, close the door, open door.
Yeah, I was just thinking exactly that.
There it is.
Interestingly enough,
open close.
the doors are like those half doors. You can open up the top half and the bottom half. And that's so the server can bring you drinks, so you don't have to like fully open the door, and it's just like kind of a convenience thing.
Kind
You all
of
sit down.
finding a seat. I believe your name was Kai?
Me? Yeah.
How are you enjoying our fair city?
It is super cool. Like, that library was super expansive. And like, you have a court wizard, and you like it's huge.
Yeah, that's all good. Did you find any spells that you like?
I did.
As he kind of like scoots in a little closer.
He's gonna immediately out of his backpack pull open your spell book. Okay, you have blur in here. Do you have any idea how cool that spell is?
Yes, it has saved my skin quite a few times.
Well, yeah, it makes you like virtually impossible to hit. And this like could make you super strong or super smart. And he points to enhance ability.
Indeed. Please, by all means, if you wish to copy any of the spell theory, I'd love to see what you have to practice.
Are you serious?
Of course. Are we not friends?
I mean, we are now. Pulls out the other spell book,
We're
puts
the
it down,
bestest of
opens
friends.
it. He's immediately going to start copying Blur into his spell book.
Good. No, you messed up that, Zito. Make sure to round
Wait,
that
which
up.
one?
He'll kind of point with the feather.
Oh, shoot, my bad. Okay, wait. Oh, maybe that's why I kept screwing them up. Okay. Like that?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. I swear I've done this before.
You hear it rasp at the door, and the top half of the door kind of is rasped out in here. I got your drinks. You want them now, or you want them later?
Yeah, I love this drink. I love them now. Here, give me some.
The door opens, and you see this guy, and like he's got like all your drinks in his one draconic hand, and he just places them on the table and goes, "There you go, freshly brewed
What is it, if I can ask?
ale."
Oh, great! I love some. Here I go.
I got other spirits if you want it, but I imagine your friends will should go, "Oh, you want ale?" Or any of you guys a wine person? We have a hard dwarven liquor, but it's a little bit more pricey.
Oh, please do not let us
You
not
say this
spare
is-
any expense.
You say this is homemade?
Yeah, in-house. They have a distillery out back.
Otho will lift up the mug and he'll like smell it a little bit.
Smells like beer.
What's it smell like?
Hoppy. It smells very hoppy, but it smells pretty good.
Ooh,
Nice.
it smells expensive.
Please, a round of the dwarven spirits as well for me and my friend, as he kind of points towards Gaius.
It sounds like we're not going to be coherent tonight. All right, as you wish. And he kind of smacks a hand on the table and then closes the top part of the door.
Gaius is downing the last bit of the ale. You hear a clank, like you just hear. Let's bring the beat back down. I am back.
The ale is good. It is probably the best ale you've had in your adventures so far. It's not as good as some of the wine you've had, but as far as like an ale goes, it's really, really, really good.
You just see the fur bristle on his shoulders, and he like kind of like jolts up a little bit, and then just like throws it back, and just looks so content. Wow, that was really good.
Otho will like wipe a bit of the foam from his mustache. This is quite good. Better than I've had in a long time.
Trust me, after the years of battle of whether it's the war or those damn wolves, it's nice to come back and take the edge off with a bit of this libation.
I think I'm probably gonna pace myself if everyone doesn't mind. Still paying for the last time.
I'm
Please.
actually more interested in looking at all like the board game bits you were talking about that were around.
It's just like cards and stuff, like standard affair stuff to facilitate like gambling games, more or less, if people want to play them.
Ooh. Are they like just for the private room, essentially?
Yeah, they're just for the private room in case people are like, "Oh, let's play some cards while we're here and bet money," or blah blah blah. It's just like more like it's conveniently there. You don't have to bring your own if you don't have your own.
Lord
No.
Otho, wasn't?
Yes.
I seem to recall that you handled yourself quite well in court today.
Well, before all this, you had the right of it. I did handle a lot of my father's affairs back in Mataralo.
How
back
fares
before
Brutus, if I may ask?
recent reports. Well, I haven't been able to confirm personally, but my father is still quite active.
Yes, I've heard Mortarallo is... it's rumored to have streets paved to gold at this point, with the amount of merchants they're going through.
I can assure you that is not quite the literal case, but Kaliko does us well with his trade.
Ah, yes, I have heard of this Kaliko. Some mostly good things.
Well, merchant lord and all that.
No, of course, of course.
There's
Master
one
Kai,
thing he loves, and it's coin.
So I've heard. Master Kai, again, the circle on the sigil, you need to round that up.
Yeah, okay. I can't really erase ink. What if I... Does that look good enough?
He'll just take out, Strigal will take another piece of paper and help him, help
Thanks.
sketch it out
Sorry.
for him.
I'm just gonna have to trace this now. This is hard.
And Eastcon, right?
Yeah.
Was I correct that you were looking at star maps?
I was. Yeah, it's sort of a new thing.
Oh?
Yeah. Just, recently learning a lot about myself and trying to understand it all.
Learning to sail, are we?
Not exactly. Although we did do some of that, but more just... Well, I seem to have a connection with the stars, and I'm just trying to, make sense of all that.
He's gonna put a hand underneath his beak and kind of rest his chin on it. Fascinating. Is that how you cast magic?
I think so. Actually, Kai's been a lot of help in figuring that out.
He'll kind of raise a brow at Kai. Oh, fantastic. You've been mentoring him.
Oh, yeah. He's got knows prestidigitation now.
Oh, yeah, hang on. And he's going to go ahead and use Druidcraft to make
I love this
a
bit
fire.
so much.
To make a small fire. Somewhere.
Whatever his hand looks like, Strigal will use his hand to also prestidigitate the same kind of flame. It's one of my
again,
favorites.
it's not a
One of my-
continual flame. It's like a flash of fire.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
poof,
Yeah.
like a poof, right?
Yes.
Prestidigitation is one of my favorites, though it does look different from you. At least from the way I would cast, or I assume the prestigious Master Kai would.
Am I doing something wrong, or...
No, just your source of magic. It is unique. At least to my eye.
So I've heard.
I mean, he's just got a very starry flair to it. Eh? Because of the... All right, I tried.
Get
Small
it! Oh,
smile.
stars! Oh, good. Very good. Another round of
No,
drinks,
it's-
please.
Oh, boy.
You watch as the bartender actually does show up, and he's like, "I got your dwarven liquor right here."
Yes, I do believe I accepted a gracious... would you say it was a challenge? Drinking challenge? A duel of sorts?
A competition.
Oh, I did not realize it was such a serious thing. Please.
You'll have to forgive me. I take competition a little too, not seriously, but I revel in it.
So do I. As he's going to cast ability on himself to give himself better constitution.
You're gonna give Constitution to yourself. You got it.
Yep.
Enhanced ability Constitution. You watch as the bartender's like, "You're gonna do a drinking competition with this stuff. I hope you're ready to pay your tab." And he hands you off what appears to be about 6 shots of what appears to be very, very powerful dwarven liquor.
All right, down the hatch.
All right, both of you roll Constitution saving throws for me, please.
Okay. This is with advantage, right?
No, no. Your does the
It just
enhanced
boosts your
give
ability. I don't
advantage?
think it gives you
I know it
advantage.
does. No, it doesn't.
Soft.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Oof.
As both of you take the dwarven liquor in, it is like paint thinner strength. You drink it, and immediately Gaius's hair just sticks up on end, and Strigal, all of your feathers just up immediately as you drink it, and you guys both wince your eyes shut and swallow it. It is not pleasant tasting, but are you gonna feel it in the morning?
It's not a draw.
Gaius squints his face and scrunches it. Nice.
I try to avoid the dwarven stuff for that reason.
Oh, you're certainly missing out.
There's 4 more shots.
I'm fine
yes,
watching.
There's 4 more shots.
Yep, another one.
Another
Soft
one.
20.
Another one.
Wow.
Oh!
almost
Consistency
exactly
of the
what you rolled
5e
up.
fighter! Let's go! Gaius!
Gaius came prepared.
All right,
Consistency.
both of you take another shot, and
I'm so proud.
Gaius, you're kind of getting used to it. There's a bit of a burn, but you're kind of getting used to it. Strigal, it's giving you like a headache before giving you a headache. As you drink it, and you're like, the regret is kind of seeping in. You're like, oh no. Last shot.
Look, Strigal has to make sure that these ambassadors have a good time, so he's gonna take one for the team.
Strigal is
For our entertainment.
Disadvantage on this one.
Okay. Strigal, if you're not sure if it's the drink or not, but for everyone else, when Gaius squints that second time, his horns give off a small bit of ember from his runes.
Ooh, here we go. Finish him.
Strigal is going to put like the leather sheath on the halberd because he knows he's about to get so drunk and doesn't want to accidentally hurt someone.
Oh.
And then he's gonna drink it.
Oof.
No!
The exact same thing.
Consistency!
Wow.
3 20s in a row.
Yeah, Gaius, you slam back the last one. It's really nice. It's actually like it's one of those acquired tastes. Like the first one hits you like a punch, but then the following ones are more like digestible, more easier to drink. Strigal,
this is right refined, yes.
you drink the last one, you get like half through the shot, and you just spit it back into the cup. You can't. Your body is just
Zito?
rejecting it.
I have to yield to defeat here. I know when I'm bested. He's gonna like sit on one foot awkwardly before kind of almost falling.
Are you all right?
Gaius puts his hand on your back and leans you forward, and then just like lowers his hand for a handshake.
He will graciously give the handshake.
Athletics check.
Oh,
Another 20. What the fuck?
Another 20! Let's go!
Oh
my God.
Wow.
Consistency of the 5e
Unfucking real.
Oh wow.
Bro,
You
we
guys
just like fucking
are-
we just did the Full Metal Alchemist like two dudes handshake.
You were
Yup.
not expecting a wizard to have athletics.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm just looking at how to get drunk, and apparently drinks can have a level. So I'm gonna say
How to get
both
drunk.
of you.
Step
I'm
one.
gonna say Strigal and Gaius both roll me Constitution saving throws for intoxication here.
All right.
Oh, here we go. Oh
Right.
my God!
Wow.
Oh,
Pretty
nice.
It was all an act.
Yeah, Strigal's gotta make sure that the ambassadors have a good time.
Gaius, you drink that third shot, and boy oh boy, did you drink that third shot. You are feeling a little bit tipsy. You are, for the sake of checks, you are considered poisoned.
Okay.
Nice.
Am I
Just the
am I able to
Conquer drunk
see?
song.
Am I able to see, given my encounters with guys in the past, am I able to see that last shot hit him really, really hard?
Oh, that one hit real hard. Yeah, that one was
Oh,
had a little extra in it too.
I'll give you a visual for this. The rune's still going. There's embers on the tips of his horns.
Before the table can catch fire, Iskan's gonna place a hand on your shoulder, and I'm actually gonna cast Lesser Restoration. Woo!
All right,
Just to
you're no
take
longer
off
poisoned.
the poisoning. You can still have a good time, but you're not completely wasted now.
Well, thank you. I at least wanted to make sure I was a man of my word and did the competition well.
You did your country proud.
They're in here. You hear footsteps approaching the door.
Multiple footsteps? Uh-oh.
Strigal will kind of try to stand up straight, using the halberd to keep him standing.
The cool guy pose on the halberd. It's like,
It's
yeah,
cool
guy.
Yeah, it's
Cool
definitely weekend at Strigal's with like kind of holding the halberd.
There is a gentle rasp at the door as you hear, I'm entering now, and you see as Candlestaff enters the aged wizard, human wizard man with his long beard and his very, very Gandalf-esque hat, and his staff, which, as described, contains many candles. He steps in, he goes, I see you've made yourself comfortable. That is good. Strigal, you've been an excellent host, I assume?
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
You watch as the wizard looks down at the 6 empty shot glasses and you go, a very good host, I assume. If you don't mind me, gentlemen, I would like to discuss of the matter of which you have found yourself here, beyond that of your speaking with the steward, of course. He sits down and he closes the door. I have requested that the bartender not disturb us during this conversation. So, speak freely. What is it that you seek here of a magical persuasion?
Looks towards Kai.
Kai is face first in this book. Doesn't seem to be paying attention.
Kai,
Yeah, no, last line. Work, does that look the same to you?
Mark.
Yeah, me neither.
Work
I
is
hear
like-
him looking. I love that I heard him looking.
Work is like, yeah, looking down on your shoulder. It's like, I don't know.
I can't read.
I can't read, brah. Sure. You go, kid. Sorry, what?
We are discussing the matter of which you are here, son, and also that rune is incorrect. It should be slightly over to the left. That rune is actually an illusion rune, which in tandem with a conjuration rune can create this rune that you need for the blur spell. It is a mixture, you see, an abjuration and conjuration spell made manifest together.
Yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud. Kai's gonna head Deskus on the very
Perhaps
last
I need to
line.
take
He
your
fucked
mind
up.
off of it, brother.
Such things are
perhaps you
not
should-
conquered in a single sitting, my son. It takes years of practice and study to perfect your ability to write down spells.
Yeah, no kidding. Sorry, what are we talking about?
The reason you are here, you mentioned seeking something.
Oh, right. Funny you should ask. I'm looking for a different spell book.
You're looking
We're
for a spell
looking for a
book.
Yeah. A friend of mine might have misplaced their spell book, and we were told that it might be here under the lock and key of a different wizard. Don't ask me who. I don't know.
His eyes narrow and he looks over to you, Strigal. And he kind of looks back and he goes, "This individual, what is their name?"
I really more know them by like a nickname.
I see. What type of wizard are they? And what manner is their spell book?
They didn't specify. They just said to retrieve it for them. I didn't really get into details.
That does not help me, unfortunately. That is too vague. That could be any spell book that resides within Hearthland.
Okay.
Kai, it's all right. You can tell them.
Okay. They're like a weird looking raven. They're called the Stitch Sister.
He strokes his beard and he goes, "I have not heard of this name before, I'm afraid."
Yeah. Their magic might be on the more dark and evil side, if that helps at all.
Given her Eastern Vale's situation, I can understand why your curiosity would lead you to such things. Do you know where they were from? Region, location?
Would that be the
Sect.
place? Let me see. Hang on. Would that be the same city that they said to meet them in? Is that a safe assumption? Let me find them. Where is the name of that city?
Let's play. Find that. No.
Find that city.
All right. We're getting 5 minutes on the timer. Let's hope he does it.
How good are your notes?
They're not. Okay, here we go. The city that they said I could meet them in was Triskalden, if that means anything.
You watch as immediately he firms up at that. Strigal, go ahead and roll a history check or actually Arcana or history of your choice.
Let's see.
As Candlestaff tenses up and he goes, "You mean to tell me you are collecting the spell book of a person from Triskalden?"
Yeah, why?
There are only one type of spellcaster in Triskalden, and they are nigh extinct.
Okay, and they would be...
The Anhedonians.
Oh, that's what that name meant.
You are seeking the spellbook of an Anhedonian.
Yeah, that's exactly the word that they used.
Strigal, you rolled a 22. And you would know this as Candlestaff talks about it. Candlestaff looks to you very firmly, and I'm going to grab some music here.
Oh, boy.
God. Oh,
Different
no.
music. Look
This
out.
bodes well.
Yeah, music shift always bodes well.
No, not
Oh,
good.
Whoa.
what the fuck?
As we are suddenly shifted into the future times.
Oh, that's
works.
not okay.
That's really. There we go. That works.
Does it?
Candlestaff kind of looks very firm at you and goes, "You are here to speak. You are here to find a spellbook that belongs to a Hedonian who you claim is alive."
Well, yeah, I've talked to them. I've seen them.
Master,
They look. Go ahead,
Is-
Strigol.
is that him?
No. You know my stories of Treyscalden. Treyscalden is a land unwelcome to spellcasters. It is a place of tumultuous magic, said to be an epicenter during the Great Mage War.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know a lot about the Great Mage War. I've heard a lot about it, but I don't fully. We've heard it a lot in our travels, but we don't really have a lot of information. I should have looked at that in the library.
You and the rest of the world, the Great Mage War, no doubt intentionally, its machinations reside hidden from us, for good reason. But Treyscalden definitely bore the brunt of many of the war's great cataclysmic events. To cast magic in Treyscalden is to sign your own death. Not to mention, the society there is strictly anti-magic. They will execute spellcasters on the spot, which makes the Anhedonians a rather interesting sort of people. Their ways are mysteries to me, but their magics are spoken about in deep whispers, said to write their spells upon flesh, as dark ones may do. He looks towards you, Strigol. The Anhedonians have not been heard of for many a millennia. Many believe them to be extinct. Their practice is no longer.
As far as you know, they are extinct. I'm not supposed to say anything, but we're not supposed to lie either.
Regal's doing everything in his power to sober up.
And you are certain that what you are searching for is here in Hearthland?
As certain as I can be.
He looks towards Eustragal, and he looks directly at Eustragal and goes, "Far be it from me to relinquish such ancient dark knowledge." He kind of strokes his chin. "I'd rather it not be in Hearthland, but I do not wish to burden Easonvale with such a dark thing, lest it cast you back into the cursed state you had just arrived from."
Listen, you let me handle whatever dark magic thing I find. It's not going to be here for long. I'll get it off your hands.
The wizard looks at Eustragal pretty firmly.
I do not believe Master Candlestaff wants it in anyone's hands, with due respect.
I think something important to mention here is that we think it's going to help us in regards to everything that's already happened in Easonvale and keeping it from happening elsewhere.
I wonder, Strigol. I heard about the dark dealings in Stravengrand. Do you think that it could be one and the same?
It would seem that would be too happenstance not to be the same.
More reason to move quickly. You have entrusted us with great information, for which you are brave and trusting of us. It feels only fair that I am trusting of you. Myself and Strigol have been investigating a curio collector by the name of Orestes Lung. He was in running to be the court wizard. We were once rivals. Now he resides in a rather lavish manor, of which he collects many magical curios and archaeological interests. While there is no strict limitation on the trade of some magical goods, owning of occult items and items that you describe is considered dangerous if it turns to become more of a threat than intended. It is not by the King and Queen's authority that we may apprehend this individual, but I myself and Strigol have discussed essentially a means of investigating on our own in a sort of vigilante manner.
So this wizard's in Stravengrad.
He is, yes. His name is Orestes Lung.
Then I can pretty much guarantee that spell book is there.
because that's what I told I would find it. And if there's the mages there, that's it.
If you seem to align, yes. Seems like destiny you are meant to be here, but your ally who has informed you is quite a very well informed individual. They must have a means by which to keep an eye on their spell book, or at the very least some sort of link to it. But he looks towards you, Strigal. I myself am too well known by Orestes, and we have too much of a history for me to even attempt approach. He is known to keep bodyguards as well as well-armed individuals. He looks towards you, Strigal. But Strigal and I had discussed the possibility of a heist, a means by which to enter into his home and take inventory of what he has. Proof enough to have him apprehended or to calm our worries. Perhaps in the same breath, if you wish to assist us, you could find the book that you are looking for.
I'm in.
I'm assuming this is all happening in an official capacity then.
In an official capacity that the king and queen must not know about. It is not illegal for us to look into it, but we do not have consent to look in. Of course we don't. Orestes is a rather powerful man. He would prevent as such. To say that we would be taking the matters into our own hands is a bit of an understatement, but it is a necessary one. We cannot condemn a man on vibes alone. We must be certain of his intent.
You can instead put it under a sellsword contract.
Precisely. One that is not easily traceable. And Strigal could attend to you. That way you can take notes of what you find. Things we discussed, Strigal, that I'm worried that he has. Beyond this book now. An Hedonian spellbook is not a good thing to own. No one should have it. In my opinion, not even the Anthedonians. And he watches, he sips his drink. But their ways are unknown to me. Go on.
No, it's nothing. I'm just gonna shut up.
You're wondering why I judge the Anhedonians so strongly.
Yeah, I'm wondering why so many people are so scared of the unknown. It's the same thing with necromancy. I don't get it.
What is known to me about the Anhedonians is despite the threat upon their lives, they practice magic anyway, which begs the question, what powerful of a magic do they contain of which to risk their very own mortality, if they even have mortality to worry about?
Well, but wouldn't you want to know the answer to that?
There are some answers, Master Kai, that start wars. You'll forgive us for not wanting to throw ourselves potentially into another one.
Well, as I said, that leaves us to the matter of just putting a sellsword to it. Leaves the entire kingdom free-handed of the situation.
I don't suppose you could find time out of your busy schedules as emissaries of Easonvale to perhaps be the sellswords? You are at least trusted in that manner.
Probably.
This is why we are here.
Go ahead.
Then I will put you to it, if you would be willing. I will lend you my apprentice, Strigal, to assist you. You will make your way to Stravengrad and find a way wherever Orestes has these items hidden. Strigal?
Yes.
There is a spell I must imbibe into you before you leave.
Of course, Master.
I know that he has one object, and we can use that to our advantage. Your name was Kai, correct?
Yeah.
How well versed are you in divination magic?
Academically, pretty well. Casting-wise, terrible.
I will provide scrolls then. You will need locate object to assist in your endeavors.
Oh, I've heard of that, yeah.
Well, that we know now. And you watch as he sips his drink.
Feeling his master kind of calm down, he will also kind of calm down and slowly make his way back to his roost to sit down.
So this direction we're taking, it's bringing us south, correct?
Yes. Do you have a map?
Yes.
Do we? Do we have a map?
Do we have a map?
It is a pretty well-traveled road. You're not going to find yourself meeting any bandits. However, the roads are still dangerous at night, given the woven presence.
Well, we have had to deal with wolves before.
Oh, I doubt you've dealt with wolves like this.
Well, as I
That-
was saying, Stragal, we have been to Hearthland before. We've encountered these wolves.
Oh, apologies, you did say that. The dwarven spirits still make things difficult to think about.
Quite all right, sir. We did have some help in dealing with them. A fellow who goes by the name The Outsider.
The outsider? The one who saved the king's brother?
He did what
Oh.
now?
He what?
That's news
Wait, he
to
did
us.
what?
Yes, I suppose it's normal news to Hearthland, but may not be outside. Yes, the stories about that King Levi's brother was saved by the outsider some time ago. The details are somewhat blurry behind a haze of whatever that was.
Yes, this outsider that you mentioned, the king's brother was on a sort of a campaign against some of the wolves to the south, and unfortunately, his legion were set upon by a massive pack. Luckily, the king's brother survived, but just barely. But the outsider managed to find him and returned him to our castle. It was quite a while ago that this occurred.
Well,
He is an
we were
honorable
fortunate
sort.
indeed.
He's an honorable sort. The king offered him a position as one of his main guards, and he politely refused. Strange man. Honorable man, though.
Hey, Master Candlestaff.
Yes.
You're obviously a practitioner of magic.
I
I didn't
dabble.
see anything in the.
He gives you a smile.
Sergio will
I,
laugh.
I didn't see anything in the library, and they said you were kind of like the gatekeeper of all magic information. I know it's kind of taboo, but we kind of have a situation where we're all from, and if you have any like books on necromancy, I know it's probably locked under like 7 different arcane seals, but like if there's a way that before I leave at some point I could look at one of them, it might be really helpful to helping out a friend of ours.
If you help Sergal, if you collect this, well, find evidence for me, I feel like that is a reasonable reward.
Yeah, and obviously you could be there. I just want to read.
Certainly.
Okay, yeah, that's. Yep.
You can always use another apprentice, Master.
Not of necromancy. That has never ended well.
Oh, true.
He kind of
Fair.
gives you a side eye, Sergal.
Guys,
I more meant in the form of general magic. I'm still not certain, Master Kai, which form of wizardry you specialize in.
None, but I have some leans.
Oh,
Yeah, similar to Lucine. He kind of nods at you, Sergal.
yes.
I would not be too remiss to send you home with some studying material as payment for efforts rendered, if that is okay with your peers. We can also find gold in your pocket as well, of my own personal collection. Enchantment is a lucrative business. He kind of smiles. It
You're an
also would be
enchanter?
worth. I can. It takes a very long time, but I can enchant items indeed. But it takes months, if not years. Magic items do not simply fall off of trees. They are very much difficult process, and they're worth their weight in gold, if not more so.
Well, for my sense of payment, the steward gave me a little bit more information for me to go on.
Yes, he seemed quite taken with you.
Aye. He knows my father.
Oh. That's strange. He doesn't go out much.
With respect, Master, he is quite old. He likely had a life before we met him.
I'm quite old too. He puts on his staff a little bit. But I at least
Well.
socialize every once in a while. You see me at a tavern, for Pete's sake.
Yes.
So my source of payment is that of information for possibly finding my family, at least on the road, if we are heading south. Though I won't turn a blind eye to gold.
Gold can be organized, indeed.
And perhaps this can go a long way towards bettering the relations between our two nations.
I feel like it already has. He looks down at the 6 empty, like, shot glasses.
You want to
I
go for
think
7?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that was an answer I was not expecting.
Due to the private nature of the mission I will task you with, I cannot expend too many resources. I can give a couple spells, but beyond that, I cannot lend you any beast of burden or otherwise. If you're okay with moving out on foot, it is not a long trip, but you'll be spending a night in the woods.
We're kind of used to it. And
Okay.
honestly, the less we have, the better, probably. So we're not seen coming in.
Fair enough.
Strigil will kind of lean outside of the door, the half door. 2 more of the dwarven stuff, please.
You watch as you hear yell, and he's like, "One sec, I'm coming up with your food." And you hear footsteps approaching. You see he's got like just arms of food. It's just a myriad, like, ham and like, basically it's like kind of like it's not so much like everyone gets their own individual meal. It's more like, here's the food and here's your plate. Go for it, essentially. So you
So
kind
It's a
of,
hometown buffet.
Yeah,
get a fucking
basically.
we get a sampler platter of everything, basically.
yeah, and it's like
Oh,
some of it's
shit.
drinking food. There's like ham, there's meat, there's like bread, there's all sorts of things. It's very like hearty. There is, yeah. There's like these small, like clearly grilled, like small fish that you can just eat and like, you can eat the whole thing. The bones are soft. They're really good. They're like slightly salted with like some sort of marinated kind of like savory sauce on them. It's really good.
I will have the anchovies.
They're bigger than anchovies. They're like probably like 3 or 4 inches long.
I will have the extra large anchovies.
Guys quickly looks at Wark, like takes him off Kai's shoulder, and then just like
Wark.
looks left, looks right, slowly sleight of hands the other shot to Wark.
Wark picks up the glass and drinks it with his Muppet mouth, and it just kind of pours out the corners. And then he holds up the glass and goes, "Wark!" like excited, like, "Look what I did."
Hey!
Oh my god, he can hold his liquor. That's amazing.
Careful, guys.
That was
I will
probably
put
very expensive.
I will put 4 gold on Wark.
I squint.
You're gonna
Oh,
kill
no.
Gaius.
Yes.
You're gonna kill Gaius.
Oh.
Hang the fuck on.
Well.
The streak is over.
The streak
Yeah.
is dead.
How hath the mighty fallen? You take one more shot, and that is enough. You are done. You,
All right,
you are like
guys,
sick.
You know what? No, fuck it. I'm gonna make this go big. Gaius takes the swig. You see like his one side of his face twitch. I proc Giant's Might and fall dead asleep.
Oh God.
I'm not
Suddenly-
carrying him to his room.
Suddenly shifting sides. How curious. I'll be sure to arrange you rooms on your behalf.
Ghost
Mr.
Horse
Ball.
is dead.
Strigil's just dead in the face.
Oh dear.
It takes a few seconds. Yes,
Well.
master.
Enjoy your merriment. I will make leave of you. I have many scrolls to prepare for tomorrow for your venture. Be sure to swing by and pick them up before you leave.
Thank you, master.
Thank you,
Have
Master
fun.
Cadmus staff.
Indeed, and thank you for your willing efforts to assist us. I hope that is a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Of course.
Adventure.
Oh, and
It's okay.
Kai, was it?
Yeah.
There's one more thing you should probably know.
Okay.
He leans into your ear and whispers, "The Anhedonians are said to be the last ancestry of the wizards responsible for the Great Mage War." And he stands up and he leaves.
Kai is gonna have the face of someone who's just seen a ghost.
And that is where we're going to end the session for tonight.
Oh,
Fuck.
I've got some notes to sort through.
I have a lot of notes.
Hot damn.
Session 40. Oh, session 39. Session 41.
Yeah, that was a lot of stuff.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Sure was.
Great.
My
Holy
corkboard grows.
You guys have to steal from a wizard.
Yep.
I'm
Oh,
sure it'll be
wizard.
fine. We've stolen from worse.
We gotta get the B&E crew back.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Breaking
Mhm.
and
Very
entering.
same. Hell yeah, wizard heist arc.
You guys can
welcome,
talk to
Dan.
Strigal about stuff when you walk there. You have time to roleplay and.
Yeah.
It's true.
Fuck
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 days
Ladies
of
and
sobering
gentlemen.
up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Analyst Grim, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Zan!
welcome.
Welcome to the crew, baby.
Plug
Thank you.
yourself.
In front of everyone right now.
Yes, now.
Yeah, right now.
Oh, okay.
Do it.
You can find me on Twitter at Zanny_Grim. You can also find me on Monty's Twitch channel on Thursdays, where I play Faerun's saddest human being. And then on Tuesdays, you could find me on Ed's Twitch stream, where I play Halo with the legendary All Skulls on. It is absolute hell. It's fun.
Question mark?
Mark?
Aside from that, do not perceive me. Thank you.
Perceive.
All right. Mark Allen Jr., where can they find you? What are you up to?
You can find me on twitter.com at Mark Allen Jr., here on Twitch at Aeon Protect Gaming, and you can follow the adventures of my fat sleepy cat bunny on Instagram at Chonk4Life. This Saturday at 3 p.m., I will be doing a what's it called?
Subathon.
Subathon, that's the one. Sorry, I'm drunk apparently. I'll be doing a subathon. I'm going to be moving soon. My partner and I are going to be trying to get a place together. And I will be joined by said partner, as well as hopefully some other guests, some from this very same channel. For their part, we are going to be having some tiers. For example, roughly every 25 subscriptions or so, LJ will be doing a raffle for a piece of artwork. Details to follow on requirements for all of that. We also have some fun surprise tiers. One spoiler is if we hit 100 subs, I get it, it's a funny joke. if we hit 100 subs, I will have to play a game of NBA 2K23 where I score 100 points with one player, which as far as I can tell is impossible unless you play on like the lowest possible setting. So who knows? We'll see what happens. It's gonna be great. And I might, wrestle in some other folks that you might know. Maybe Connor if I can squeeze out a couple hours of him. Maybe Bosco if I can steal him away under the cover of night. Maybe Zito if he wants to figure out something that we can do. Maybe an indie game that he might have in mind. I don't know. We'll talk to
Have
people.
you
We're gonna
heard
work
of
it out.
Crab Champions?
I have not heard of Crab Champions, but I love how quick you were for that.
I believe Crab Champions is in order.
I may have to look into that. We'll discuss about Crab Champions later, and Monty won't be invited or she'll eat them all. Other than that, yeah, check on my Twitter. We'll have a graphic and some announcement stuff for that in the next day or so. That's me. Oh, and watch Dr. Stone in English. You'll hear me as Ukyo. Okay, that's it.
Aw, yeah. Up next, we've got Zito, where can they find you? What are you up to?
Have you heard of Crab Champions?
I have.
You can find me on twitch.tv/Zito, where I play indie games, shock and awe. I have a couple that are in the works. Some crazy mad person gifted me on Throne a fight stick, so now I'm going to actually start adding fighting games to the docket. I know I play Them's Fighting Herds. I have played Strive, and now it looks like I'm actually going to legitimately do a story playthrough of Street 6 when that happens. Beyond that, I'm going to probably also continue streaming Honkai Rail because the bug has bitten me and now I'm stuck and I can't get out. Also, if you know that I do kart racing with a bunch of like modded characters that I do for my comic, one of those said characters, one of the most popular ones, has a plush. Rebound is now in physical form, and if I sell at least 200 plushes of Rebound, I have to play Brat's Flaunt Your Fashion DLC. Why
Yes!
is there DLC?
That's a thing?
That's what I fucking said, but apparently Steam remembered that I had to purchase Brat's Flaunt Your Fashion, and it told me, yo, maybe you might be interested in DLC. I'm not, but maybe if I sell 200 rebounds, maybe I'll buy it and play it again. What is Rebound? He's a red panda. I just posted it in chat. He's right there. Please check him out. I draw him all the time. He's actually going to be getting a new He's actually getting the next big chapter in the comic. Please.
He's a cute little guy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. That is bullshit blazing. Bosco, where can they find you and what are you up to?
You can find me at Ed Bosco V on both Instagram and Twitter, right here on twitch.tv/EdBosco.
Time.
Pretty
We'll
good.
have to get back from the judges there on
Good job, Ed. You did it.
placement, but
Yeah, I feel like the tongue rolled into two of them and you didn't quite say the whole thing. Can we get a second take on that?
You can find me at Ed Bosco V on both Instagram and Twitter, right here on twitch.tv/EdBosco.
Okay, you definitely fucked that one up. We need one more for safety. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Could you make this one a little more beige?
Yeah. You can find me both Twitter and Instagram at Bosco V and Instagram and Twitter.
Ah, beige.
No.
Yeah, no, that's appropriately
Bosco,
beige.
Bosco, more acting, please.
Fuck. You can find me at Ed Bosco V on both Instagram and Twitter, and right here on twitch.tv/EdwardBosco.
This is like telling.
All right, I think we can use
designer
that
to make-
one.
This is like
Yeah,
telling a
don't do
graphic
anymore.
designer to make the logo bigger.
We didn't
Oh
peek
my
on that one.
god.
We'll fix in post.
Yeah. Don't call
Fuck
us.
all
Austin?
of you.
Said
Austin,
no one.
we're gonna have a lot of work for you, buddy. Sorry.
Monty, where can they find you and what are you up to?
Oh my god, this session was amazing. You can find me at Monty Glue on Twitter. You can find me at twitch.tv/Monty Glue. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have more done to the Mad Mage. I have been kind of sick this week, so I'll see how I feel. But after this session, I feel like I'm kind of gearing up for more D&D. Streams will be here and there, but hopefully we'll get back to Mass Effect on Mondays. And I have a Friday stream in the works, actually cooking up right now. I'm just waiting to kind of prepare for that. But yeah, definitely check that out.
Right on. And I guess they can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.com/Distortion Devil. I stream Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. We are probably going to be wrapping up Jujmonte this
Me?
Jujmonte, not
Juju Monty Glue.
Oh my god.
because we had a big ass 12-hour-long side quest city stream where we basically did all of the friend quests, and now we've unlocked all the side quests, and then we can do those. There's like 5 of them left, and then we'll probably end up wrapping up the game next stream as well. And then I also started Deus Ex Invisible War, which that's
Yeah.
it's okay.
that's
okay. It's just not as good as Deus Ex.
No, Connor, if you just didn't say anything and left it as an awkward silence, I would have agreed with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah. It's like
It
Deus
is.
Ex, but not as good.
It
exists.
Deus Ex Invisible War is the most game.
Such a
It
shame.
is. It is certainly an early 2000s game that came out in the early
Excellent.
2000s.
Excellent food. It sure has food flavor.
It tasted like flavor.
It's beige.
It's very, yeah.
I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah, that's happening. I'm also doing pop-up VR streams every once in a while whenever I feel like it. Yeah. Other than that, this episode was brought to you in part by Die Hard Dice.
Die.
Nice!
You know what the hardest thing about all these roleplay sessions is? I don't get to roll my Die Hard dice as much.
Darn, you can't hear the crisp sound of your Die Hard dice hitting your Die Hard dice magnetic dice tray.
You mean
Or
like
the
this?
board.
You mean like this?
Wow. It's got some good thunk to it.
Connor, if there ever was a time where we needed the sound effect of the pufferfish eating a carrot on your soundboard, that was the time.
I'm actually thinking I might get another dice tray actually, just to have like a.
I've
one
got
for-
2.
Yeah, I'm kind of tempted to get another one, and I'm so torn because there's so many really nice dice trays that they have in very nice colors.
Yeah.
You know what you should do is you should get 10 of them and place them all along the edges of your table. So instead of dropping the dice on the floor, they just land in another dice.
Tower of trays.
Another thing I could do, Mark, is I could power bomb you through the table. You stop me.
Yeah! Get him, Monty!
No bullying.
You know what else you could do is you could use code Unexpectables to save 10% on your order when you shop at dieharddice.com.
Hell
You can
yeah.
also use that code to pick up the official Unexpectables dice, the Elias Aspect dice, that are available now at dieharddice.com.
There it is.
Also, check out our merch store where we've got several designs that you can buy as stickers, shirts, canteens, all that good stuff. Head on over to the link that is either in the chat right now or in the link tree in the description of the video if you're watching this on YouTube. Hello, YouTube chat. I see you. I know what you did. Yes. Other than that, we gotta raise awesome business.
And unfortunately, hi everyone on YouTube. Chris Zito from the Unexpectables here.
Hi.
You're not first. You're not first.
And if
I'm
you ain't
sorry.
first, you're last.
You're dead last.
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh, just Stone Cold in Talladega Nights now?
Yeah!
I'd pay to see it.
Yeah, I would too. You don't chew Big Red, then fuck you! And that's the bottom line! Cause Stone Cold said so!
So where do we leave off on these?
Continue.
God.
Wasn't there like a 5,000? Wasn't there a really huge bit?
Yeah, there was a Hyromir for 5,000. We were a couple after that.
I'm gonna control F it.
Not in public.
Whoa.
F it.
My
I just
reward-
plugged myself in public. I think Control F is fine.
Yeah, but we all did that.
Oh, true.
It's gonna be
It's probably-
H-E-I-R.
It's not
Anything
inappropriate
goes
if you
here,
plug
twitch.tv/the
That's
Unexpectables.
that's just the
Oh.
fucking content creator life, my guy.
All of you are getting a timeout.
I didn't do anything this time.
Bro, fuck off! I didn't do shit.
Yeah, fuck you.
Sorry, Monty
Like-
punishes on a curve, so.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, is
Sorry.
that how
I'm
that
like,
works?
I'm like the public school system.
I'm on the
trying
end
to
of the
identify.
curve. I'm always on the end. What's my fucking last name?
Zippo.
Yes, but Zito, I'm also on the other end of the curve, and so
Yeah, but even
I
if
drag
you
us
fucking-
both down.
Yeah, but even if you reverse it, we're still on the fucking end of the start. It don't matter. We're on the swing.
Reverse.
Connor, go.
I'm trying. I can't find the funny bit drop.
Oh my
Pick a
God.
spot and go.
Alrighty. Oh, I had to refresh it. Fucking.
We're professionals here.
We are.
As I guzzle down my Brooklyn Brewery drink.
Oh
gonna say
my
it again.
God.
I'm gonna say the same thing I said last time on Thursday. Monty is so proud of us. You can just tell.
I mean, she
Yeah,
just
man.
power
We
bombed me
picked
through
a level and we
table.
stuck on
Here.
it the whole time. How about you?
That's true.
No,
You know what? You know what? We have some funny shenanigans about to happen on Thursday because we definitely lied to one of our party members by just not telling him that we killed a fairy dragon, and we're definitely on the other side of the door now where we totally killed the fairy dragon.
Oops.
That's a ruh-roh moment.
Yeah.
All right,
Facing
I'm
the
gonna start here.
consequences of my own
All right.
actions.
Killer Chansey, thank you for the 10 bits. I knew Helga was a badass, but damn. Serious Einsel, thank you for the 5 bits. Hey, Bosco, I actually like the lore dump.
I appreciate you.
100 bits from Duggo40. Question, Bosco, is the new guy a hoot? And yes, I went there.
Oh, I fucking remember that. Fuck you.
I made that joke first. Screw you. -2.
Yeah.
Drifter in Time and Space, thank you for the 1500 bits. Hey, Bosco, loving the session. Love the lore. Love the halftime show. Wark.
Work indeed.
Burnout Vaughn, thank you for the 100 bits. This session has been fun. Zan did a great job.
He did all right.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Oh, take it.
Mark Ruffalo's.
How many Mark Ruffalo's?
I'm gonna have to give that Kenku 4 Mark Ruffalo's.
I love that
Drifter
ordinary
Time and
sausage is just so ingrained in who we are now.
I'm
Thanks,
still waiting
Doug.
for him to be a
Lives in us.
guest. So
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's coming.
Oh my god, getting the ordinary sausage guy in as a guest, that'd be amazing.
oh my god,
You'd
that'd
only be
a
able to
great
show up for one
moment with
episode, but he'd be the
Milo.
sausage guy.
Make him Milo's rival.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
Chef battle.
Chef battle.
Now you listen to me, punk.
Listen here, you little shit.
You might
Oh,
have the sugar,
God.
but I have the savory.
Fucking, you're fighting like a dragon, and like he's just like, it's regrind time as he pulls out his sword.
And he's got like a cooking channel catchphrase like prepare to get spiced.
Oh my god. Please,
needs
Connor,
to
we're gonna be
happen,
here all
Monty.
night.
Make it
Drifter of
happen,
Time and
Monty.
Space, thank you for the 500 bits. Bosco, any places to visit in Chicago?
Oh, we did that one. Yeah, you know
We
my
did that
list.
one, yeah.
Oh shit.
Keep going. You're good.
Oh, is this the Hieromir one? Hieromir.
Might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Callum Draws, thank you for the 5 bits. Milo returns. Oh, I see you've replaced me.
We have.
Nah, this guy can't cook.
That's true. He can eat though.
He can eat.
And drink apparently.
Let him eat.
Dice Ruler, thank you for the 6 bits. I did not change my name to Electrum Ruler, Monty.
I see. You've made a decision.
See. Serious Einsla, thank you for the 5 bits. If it wasn't for Canada guesting, I would have suggested Wark's portrait take Milo's place. Heard that one before.
We heard that one,
Mhm.
yeah.
Canada.
Sorry, just keep. Yep. I don't know who Canada is.
Oh, Zan guesting autocorrect.
Mm.
Ah.
I am
That's
proud to
hilarious.
represent the proud country of Canada.
Oh,
I'm gonna fight you.
Canada.
Duh.
I mean, you are
Place
nice.
where
I
it is
hate
cold.
this
Yeah, but he doesn't-
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. I was gonna say you don't apologize enough yet, but you
Or
just
mountain
said that,
lions
so
scream
thank you.
outside my window, apparently.
Yeah, that was wild. Zenlita, thank you for the 100 bits. Was Zan here as an owl? Who's ready? It's a real who's who of D&D players.
I hate you. I still hate you.
-3.
Disco Tech Priest, thank you for the 500 bits. Gaius gets his crossbow back. I knock an arrow.
No, you can't knock a cross. It's a bolt.
I cock a bolt.
Yeah, it's not how that works.
Let's never say that again.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. That's
like-
terrible.
No, you listen now. You listen here. I'll find a way.
Just loads a crossbow bolt into a bow and just.
If he turns it sideways, it's a kill shot.
No, I load the crossbow itself like it's an arrow in a longbow.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna add cockable to list of terms that Arkolf and I are not gonna call each other.
He's gonna break that rule.
Like immediately.
Venan Norvius, thank you for the bit. Babusa Monkey, thank you for the 10 bits. Noboski, Bosco, it was Remy, better Remy, Object 11, and now Remy 2.0.
I hate it.
Big Boss
I mean,
Skills, thank you for the 100 bits. River Rat, thank you for the 10 bits. Episode title, New Land, Who Dis?
That's
Nice.
extra good because of that owl.
Fuego 32R, thank you for the 10 months. Johnny Furno, thank you for the sub. Protoss 103, thank you for the 5 bits. How do you feel about a heist?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Darid, thank you for the 12 months. A full year of sub and wacky. I was only resubbed 2 months ago. Johnny Furno, thank you for the 200 bits. Living in Europe makes it hard to catch these streams live, but after weeks of catching up, I'm happy to be here. Keep being awesome and stupendous, fellas and felines. That's
Thank you.
Give you the name of my D&D like system, fellas and felines.
I was gonna say it sounds like a great ska band name.
Ooh.
Mm.
Callum Draws, thank you for the 10 bits. Time for the Wizard Heist arc.
Yeah, boy.
Sirius Einsla, thank you for the 5 bits. Careful, Kaliko may have planted his ears in your coin purses.
I get it.
I hope no one looks at my coins while I'm sleeping.
You'll never look at my coins while I'm sleeping because I never sleep.
His head just rises up out of a coin purse.
Hello.
This is
Yeah,
my
it's
home.
just
It's
very
made
nice
for me.
intro.
Dice Ruler, thank you for the 4 bits. It's time to beat up the evil nerd and steal his book. Yeah.
Yeah, this won't go horribly wrong.
Vina Norvius, thank you for the 25 bits. How did Wormtongue get into the vault?
He wormed his way in.
Thank
No!
you.
Thank you.
Fuck off! You stole my joke.
Da-da-da. Neko on Parade, thank you for the 5,000 bits. Let's go, Zan. Welcome to the group. Jet Knight Gaming, thank you for the 900 bits. Episode title, Diplomatic Entertainment.
Pretty good.
Magic Ninjago, thank you for the 10 bits. Headbangs and finish. Cha 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 cha. I don't get it.
Okay.
Callum Draws, thank you for the 10 bits. Episode title, Hold is Where the Hearth Is.
Oh, that's cute.
Title suggestion from Princess Kitsune for 100 bits. Who's in Hearthland?
Who's in Hearthland? That's
Is
pretty
it
good
Lita?
too.
Thank you for the 100 bits. Hearthland Tales is the episode title. Gin no Kaze, thank you for the 38 months. The Atom Bomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Friends, I have returned from my quest, and I have come to save you. Hooray, it's Milo of the Oran Clergy. From yourselves! Oh, no, it's Milo of the Oran Clergy.
Oh, fuck. Why do I feel like history's gonna better repeat itself?
Uh-oh. 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 Callum Draws, thank you for the 20 bits. Stragal knows how to do magic, but does he know how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
1, a 2,
A 2, a 3.
crunch.
Dice rips it out of your hand and eats it. Three.
It explodes.
Someone's going to have to pay for the hole in that wall. Zen Leader, thank you for the 100 bits. Cast Shatter. We got a burst!
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's so good.
I love it so much.
Folks, see, this
Uh,
is why I was worried about the dragon
Next-
sausage.
Next one-shot character idea, man. Holy shit.
This is just a disaster.
Mrs. Sausage, how do you feel about this?
It's
gonna-
celestially summoned.
We gotta.
It's his
We're gonna-
patron.
We're gonna go through a fucking like purge of us to fight for this character in a one shot.
Absolutely.
Oh God.
Just oops, all sausage party.
John, thank you for the 17 months. 17 months already? Yeah. And Jet Knight Gaming, thank you for the 100 bits. What is the new Easonvale flag?
I mean, the current one has the silhouette of the scepter on it. That's kind of the heraldry.
No, our flag will be all of the worm tongue doodles stitched together.
Oh God.
Into
was
an
thinking it was-
amalgam.
Could just give me the sigil of work.
Well, that's what it is.
Nice.
Arc.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's everything.
Alrighty.
Great.
Wow.
Who do we want to raid?
I have a couple of suggestions.
Yeah, what's your suggestion, Zito?
There is Octo, but I do have a buddy of mine who's playing Pokemon Infinite Fusion right now.
What is
we-
their name?
I believe we traded them before, Markatoto.
The name is familiar, yeah.
He was on a bunch of Snapcube voiceover.
Oh, okay.
He was Vector. Let me go ahead and
Yeah,
pass
give me
it
their
to you.
name and I'll put it in.
There you go.
All right. Can you send that to Wallfly actually, or in the general chat, because I can't access that on
I
Wallfly.
apologize. Yeah. Let
Yeah.
me put it in general.
Put it in general. What will our raid message be though?
That's a
Hoots?
good question. Yeah. Hoot.
Hoot. That will be our raid message.
Just what a hoot, or just hoot at him.
Hoot.
Cockable.
All right.
No. Vetoed.
Oh, I'm sure he.
Aw, man.
All right. Take care, everybody. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good bye.